The year is 1937. About, mm, let's say, close to 70 years ago, the great cold happened. It began small at first. Winters were colder than normal and would last a lot longer, and it began to progress more and more as the years went on until eventually scientists noted that, well, before the their expeditions to Antarctica showed that the ice was melting, it is in fact growing and expanding more and more as the years went on. Well, they did everything that they could to reverse this, but it didn't really go anywhere. Soon it kept getting worse and worse. Temperatures all over the globe began to drop. Well, several world governments foresaw what was going to happen and decided, with no real explanation in mind to the common people, that they would build great generators in the far fringes of society, off in the middle of nowhere, essentially. The construction took about 3 years, and right whenever they finished, uh, the era that they were finished in was called the last autumn. Right when they finished, the storms began to get worse, and soon it wasn't right. It wasn't. Well, winter wasn't lasting a few months longer. It was constant. It would maybe be warm for 1 month out of the year, and that was it. Society began to collapse over time due to the fact that it became cold 90% of the time, and then 99% of the time, and then 100% of the time. The equator, well, even the equator began to have snowfall. The oceans began to freeze, and people began to return to old religions, old gods, as they figured either this was Ragnarok or something else. Well, this was followed up by a mass die off of most animals in the world, and most governments collapsed. Well, eventually, people began to build. Well, sorry, governments began to build these massive ships. They're just called barges. Their entire goal was to set out and go to the generators and build a new society. I'll find a picture of the barge in a minute. But one of those barges went to City 17. This was then named New Glasgow. A captain was appointed, and development of the city began. It started off pretty small, just a few houses, but soon they began to expand, send out scouts to explore the world around them, and there were rumors of another city. Nobody knew its name, nobody knew really where it was, but there were rumors among the refugees. Well, eventually, the scouts found this city, and its name was Winterhome. Winterhome had collapsed and burned to the ground, and the scouts that found New Winterhome found a note in the entrance saying, "God help us, that we're eating the dead." Well, all they found was a few automatons, massive steam-powered creatures, really, that are completely immune to the cold. They took these back to the city, and with the technology that they stole from Winterhome and all the resources that they stole, the city began to transform from just a simple settlement to a massive industrial civilization. Well, over the years, refugees began to pour into the city. People eventually started asking questions on where they were all coming from and why were they all running. And eventually, after a weather station was built, it was found out that there was a storm coming. Now, they had seen storms before, obviously, but this one was different. After the scan was done and the pictures were produced, this storm was not an ordinary storm. It was around the size of the entire US, a continent-sized superstorm. The projections were shown that it would last for around a week and a half, and temperatures would plummet as low as 100 and I believe 76 degrees Fahrenheit, negative 176 degrees Fahrenheit. Well, this promptly sent the city into complete and utter shock. A small civil war broke out because people were panicking. They didn't think that they would be able to survive that type of thing. Uh, this culminated in an explosion, which partly damaged the generator, and thus broke off power to part of the city. This, combined with the faith, which was soon made around the generator, stopped the Civil War. However, in retribution for the explosion on the generator, everyone a part of this sect that was trying to leave, called the New Londoners, were thrown into the generator as a sacrifice. It was around maybe 30 people. After this, the captain took a back seat away from everybody else, and his entire goal was to progress the city and try to make sure that the city survived. That became a sort of, what's the term? The logo and the saying that spread around the city was the city must survive. It was graffitied on buildings. There were posters put up everywhere, and as the cult mechanicus, as it was soon called, was formed, they began to enforce the captain's rule of the city must survive. Therefore, if you did not work, you were executed or exiled from the city. Around this time, the city had about 10,000 people in it. Well, soon enough, people began fleeing, and, well, most of the people that fled who didn't make it to a different type of civilization were killed whenever the storm arrived. But the cult mechanicus controls the vast majority of the city. Their word is law. They receive orders directly from the captain, who is considered, based on an old religion that was found, Jesus. He controls the generator, how much heat it puts out, how much it burns coal, and really everything. Now, his name was Isaiah at the time, but nobody knew his last name. He was a gigantic man. Nobody knew where he was from. He apparently was one of the first people to set foot in the crater that the city developed in. Well, the city had about 9 months after the last group of refugees arrived, and soon the storm was seen surrounding the city in a cold storm of hate and pain. Through preparation by the captain and the people who had to work 20-hour shifts, sometimes several days straight before collapsing, the city managed to weather the storm but suffered significant losses. There is a large plaque next to the generator of over 200 names of people that died during a mine caved in, a coal mine caved in, and this was the most prominent, the biggest coal mine in the entire city. They sent 200 people in to dig it back out mid-storm, so it's still negative 176 degrees out. They were sent down into it, and sadly, most of them died. But thanks to them, the city did manage to survive, because without that, there wouldn't have been any fuel. The generator would have shut off. As well as that, on the very top of that plaque, there is a name. However, nobody is allowed to speak this name. Nobody is allowed to know it. Why? Because this is the name of a child who was sent in to fix a part of the generator that had broke, because normal people cannot fit in the generator. It's very tight, very complex. This was what was called he was a very gifted child in mechanics. He was sent in to repair the generator, and he died inside of it. Therefore, he was pretty much put in the epicenter of the religion. His name is everywhere, but nowhere at the same time, if that makes any sense. After the storm was over, the city began the slow process of rebuilding, eventually branching out, remaking outposts, discovering other cities that had survived, and sort of just incorporating everything around it into its own. The city now stands at about 30,000 people, and unfortunately, they have sent out scout team after scout team, and besides 3 cities, Tesla City, which was led by Nikola Tesla himself before it collapsed, the unnamed American City, as the Americans did not want anything to do with the last city and thus exiled themselves, and the partially rebuilt Winter Home. There is nothing else. no transmissions from anywhere else. They've gone for hundreds of miles, even thousands of miles outside of the city. Nothing. No life, no animals, no nothing. No people, nothing. Therefore, it is concluded that the last city is humanity's final hope to survive the Ice Age that they currently find themselves in. However, it is whispered upon the Faith Keeper's lips that the Great Thaw will be coming in about 40 years. And then their god come back, rip the generator from the ground, and use its power to disperse it all, and will rip that generator and every other generator that was supposedly built all over the world, and this will thaw the world back to how it was, and life can flourish once again in a new Garden of Eden. In the current day and age, the city is there's not really a word to describe how big the city is. The crater has been expanded hundreds of times, and there's really no room left for them to dig, as the city has expanded through the mountains at this point, and any more digging would cause collapse. As I said earlier, the city is put into several districts, ranging from the Captain all the way down to the Lost District, where the refugees live. And as currently, the city still accepts newcomers, but they are often treated with distrust because, again, the city is very self-contained, and there's just a very deep, intense fear of outsiders. But besides that, there were two different types of people that are around. Before the great freezing began, hundreds, if not thousands, of people were treated underground to a until then undiscovered system of geothermal caves, gigantic in size. They lived under there throughout the entire time, and only really came out whenever the Great Storm was over. One of these caves is directly underneath the generator. It is said that this cave is where things once lost will be brought back in the Great Thaw, or sorry, what did I call it? Basically, when it warms up again,
Yeah, you called it the Great Thaw.
Yeah, the Great Thaw. Things that were once lost will be brought back, as is considered a vault, if you will. But nobody's allowed down there except for the Faith Keepers and a couple other people. But the people that lived in this gigantic cave system are known as the Changed. Their skin is dark, and their eyes are a glowing red. They are hairless, and they're quite differently built. They're huge, to be precise. They speak a broken version of English, have their own society, and are mostly left alone. But there are occasional fights in the streets of the last city, as of course they're very different from regular people. They're often seen as more feral and tribal than regular people. Besides that, there are the living machines from Tesla City. These are machines that, after their creator died and Tesla City lost its grip over them, they gained a version of sentience. They are immune to the cold, and they have a steam core as a heart, and they are, like I said, they are completely immune to the cold, and they're essentially living, breathing, quote, breathing robots. Here recently, there have been very disturbing rumors about the captain. Now, as I said, the old captain's name was Isaiah, I believe. Isaac. Fuck. Or my notes. But besides that, we're gonna go with Isaiah for now.
He was Isaiah.
Yeah. Well, after the Great Storm ended, Isaiah was apparently put out of position for the captain, and a new one was elected. Nobody has seen this captain, though, except for a very few people, his guard, and high-ranking members of the Faith Keepers, or the Cult Mechanicus. There have been rumors spiraling that the new captain is not trying to lead the city to rebuild mankind, but is trying to drive it into the ground. Effects of this can be found as it seems as though more people are having to go to the Lost District day by day. There's anarchy in the streets occasionally, where before there was complete silence, except for when people were working. However, it has been known that rarely, very rarely, the captain will send out personal letters to people to meet him whenever he is in dire need of help. All of you will get one of these letters, one way or another. And that's where our campaign will start. So, for simplicity's sake, all of you are going to be inside of the city, correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
since I'm an inspector now.
Okay. All of you are going throughout your basic jobs. Noble is busy, just putting charcoal up, uh, relighting the kiln. Well, actually, here, let me go to the names, so that way it's better. Sorry, Arron is doing those things. Jobadia is currently sitting outside near the market area, selling various pelts that he found. Some of them have weird stains on them, but he doesn't talk about that. Yeah, he's set up there. He's selling his various goods. Scotchmo is in one of the local tabernacles, enjoying a drink, but with a few other people. The mood is pretty good. Production has been decent lately. The city's doing all right. There's only been a few riots recently, and people are in a generally good in a good mood. Thomas is in an iron factory currently inspecting a valve system which runs directly to the generator. Uh, right now he is. Let me think. Let me think. Right now he's just going over the valves, trying to make sure that everything's put up right, and yeah, that's how I'm going to start all of you off. Do all of you understand what you're doing?
Yes.
How I'm going to do this is I'm going to go through each of you. I'm going to give each of you a little segment of what you're doing, and then I will move to the next person. And then once you all get grouped up, you'll probably end up following each other, doing whatever. And I'll be sure to give everyone time to do their own thing because I'm sure nobody wants to get left out. That's usually how I try to do things. So first,
I'm so proud of you.
I will go with Noble. So Noble, yeah. So Thomas, right now, you are currently just in the kiln's main building. Outside of you, there is the storage area, the workshop, and the office where people come and go for orders and whatnot. You're currently shoveling coal into the kiln, getting it ready to be processed and sent. When your foreman comes in, and he kind of taps you on your shoulder and says, "Hey, just so you know, work's cut short today. We'll be getting moved to a gathering by the generator. Apparently, someone is supposed to come give us some good news. I'll come let you know whenever it's time, all right?"
All right, sir, you got it.
Okay. Now, we're a little bit behind on our quota, just a little bit, but I would like you to catch up if you can. But there's no big rush since we'll be gone for who knows how long at that damn meeting. I don't know. Your foreman looks to be about 70. Has the look of a man who's worked his entire life. Looks like he hasn't slept in weeks. But he's got very kind eyes, and he pats you on the shoulder and leaves and makes sure to seal the door back before he goes. Around you, there is the kiln in front of you, your crafting table to your right, which are just used for fixing parts and whatnot. To your left is the bathroom, and behind you is the door to the outside. Where would you like to go?
I'll shovel some coal.
All right. As you're shoveling,
Hold on, can I say something real quick?
sure.
Burn that coal, come on, baby, make it nice and warm.
Are you actually singing this in the game?
Yeah.
You hear someone very faintly singing that outside with you.
Look outside.
You see two people. You see your friend Derek, who works with you, but he's not usually in the kiln. He's just the processor, and the foreman. And Derek's singing while the foreman is yelling at him over something, but he is just not paying a single bit of attention. He's just singing that song. Okay, and you are shoveling coal, huh?
Yes, I just keep singing it over.
Okay, okay.
I bang on the
Uh,
glass and start singing louder.
The foreman looks over at you and he kind of like gives you a really confused look. You and the foreman are pretty good friends. He doesn't like Derek that much, to be honest. But yeah, he kind of just looks over at you and kind of motions for you to fuck off and get back to work.
I laugh. Continue shoveling.
Yeah. Okay. And how long do you want to shovel for? A few minutes.
What was in the room again?
There's a kiln, a crafting table to your right, the bathroom to your left, and the door behind you.
No, I'll just keep going.
Okay. Eventually, you as you're shoveling, you hear someone knock on the door. Now, it's usually it's very odd. Nobody knocks on that door. People just open it. You know, there's no prerequisite that they have to ask to enter. But you hear a very gentle knocking, and a very deep voice says for you to come here.
Right now, my pants are kind of down.
That's fine. That's perfectly fine. This is important. Get out here.
I go open the door.
Okay. And I would like you to do a perception check.
Uh, that's a 9.
Okay. You don't really see anything out of the ordinary when you open the door when it comes to the people. But besides that, there are 3 people. 2 of them are faith keepers. Now, for information, the faith keepers don't really leave their district that much, except for whenever there's parades or meetings or gatherings. There's 2 faith keepers. They're wearing large red cloaks shrouding their faces, and you see a short sword on both of their sides. In the middle of them is a very well-dressed man, very nice suit, but you can see that he's blind. That's from your perception check. And he gives you a very big smile and says, "Hello, are you Thomas?"
Yes, I am Thomas. How can I help you today?
Good, very good. How long have you been working at this kiln?
Oh, I've been working for about 6 years now.
Good. He snaps his fingers, and one of the faith keepers reaches into his cloak and pulls out a letter and holds it out to you. He doesn't say. Neither of them say anything, but he just holds out the letter for you.
It's not even Valentine's Day. Thank you.
The well-dressed man cracks a smile when you say that. And goes, "It's been a long time since we celebrated Valentine's Day, but I appreciate it. I appreciate the joke."
No problem.
His face gets extremely serious, and he leans in very close and sort of he puts his hand on your shoulder and goes, "If you show that letter to anyone after you read it, well, let's just say you won't be working here or anywhere else anymore. The person who sent that is extremely important." And he doesn't take no for an answer. And he looks at you. And he looks at you in your eyes, and he says, "Do you understand?"
Yes, sir.
Good, very good. He pats you on the shoulder, snaps his fingers again, and the 2 faith keepers start chanting, and they walk away. Before then, the blind man turns around again, and he opens both of his eyes, and you can see that they've been cut out. And
We're a little unrested by that.
he gives you a very small smile, nods his head. He turns around and leaves. What are you doing now?
I go back inside and close the door, and so I can read the letter.
Okay. Now, the letter has a very strange seal on it. You've never seen a symbol like this before. But it says, "Dear Thomas, I knew your father, well, you said you were adopted, right, Noble?"
Yeah.
Yeah, he says, I I knew your father for quite some time. He was here when I first came here, and it's been a very interesting journey watching you grow up, become a man, and follow his passion. I have use for you, and I'm sure you've been told I don't take no for an answer. You should consider this a privilege that you are getting this letter. Show up in the Sacred District after the meeting. There will be others with you, and let's just say you are about to you are about to become a lot more than a simple coal worker. Signed, the Captain. Okay, and we are going to end it there for you. Okay.
Okay.
Now we're going to Tottery, or sorry, Jobadia Shaw. Jobadia is still just sitting there in the market district doing his thing. Two men walk up to you and squat down, and they kind of look at you and go, "How much for the extra big polar bear pelt that you have?"
Is he even here?
I forget
Oh.
what they use as money.
Mostly, it's just common people. It's just a barter. They've got a few things on them. It's mostly, yeah. It's just a barter system. I should have explained that. Sorry, that's my bad. Yeah, it's just a barter system. The only real currency are used by the elite people, and that's gold bars. It's more leverage than it is currency. They say, sorry, what will you take for the extra big polar bear pelt?
Make me an offer.
Make me an offer. Make you an offer. Okay,
Make
I
your
see.
an offer.
He kind of looks over his shoulder and he nods his head and he goes, "I tell you what." He reaches into his pocket and he pulls out a very strange looking metal object. It's a perfectly round sphere with different glowing lines all over it. And he kind of holds it out to you. This is a steam core. That do you know what that is?
Isn't it the thing that the robot guys use as hearts?
Yes. They're quite valuable, but you wouldn't have any practical use besides trading it. Although they are worth quite a bit, and you could actually get some gold for it.
Jobadia just takes it from him and looks at it and just nods his head quietly.
Okay.
He pockets it.
It's a deal then?
Yeah. He just nods.
Okay.
It's a yes.
Fucking.
He sticks it in one of the in-sewn pockets in his jacket.
Okay. They take the pelt. He throws it over his shoulder, whispers something to his buddy, and kind of looks over at you. And I want you to do a perception check.
Alrighty. Which one's perception? It'd be 12.
Got you 12. You can't make out everything that he whispers, but you heard the words "old man" and "fire." That's it. That's all you could really manage to hear. But yeah. I should probably give you some context. Around you, there are hundreds of people all going to different shops, doing their own thing. The streets are packed right now. There's a light snowfall going on. only a few people really stop by to your shop, your little setup that you have, because most of them just give you side glances. You're known as a, if you can believe it, a cryptid. Uh, People have heard of your exploits out in the, well, out in the frozen wastes, and yeah, that's pretty much everything that's going on right now. There's buildings behind you, in front of you, and they stretch on for miles and miles. The market is located in between the unnamed district and the lower class district. Yeah. Uh, After the men leave, traffic kind of slows down a little bit, and then a boy trips as he's walking over to you and falls on you. He gets up rapidly and says, I'm sorry. Loose cobblestone. You know how it is. These streets are awful."
I immediately feel my pockets for anything lost.
And I want you to do what kind of check would that be?
What, to search his pockets or to see if the kid's messing with him?
Do insight. Do an insight check.
Insight?
Yeah, like when he's talking.
Oh shit. It's a nat 20.
He is lying his ass off, and you can see he's holding something in his hand.
I grab him by the scruff of his collar. I go back his neck.
Well, you grab him. He squirms. Wait, listen. And he starts squirming really bad. And I would like you to do a strength check.
Okey-dokey. 15.
Yeah, the kid squirms for a little bit, tries to get loose, but you hold him down. He goes, "Fine, okay. I saw that random weird-looking dude hand you that orb, and it looked shiny, and I wanted it. Okay. I've always wanted a steam core. Fine, take it." Takes it out.
I take it from his hand. I put it.
Takes it.
I hold it in my hand. I just kind of toss him to the ground. I just hold it in my hand. I sit back down, just staring at him with daggers.
The kid lays on the ground for a second or two. A few people have kind of stood around and are watching you now, and the kid just kind of goes, "Fucking foreigners." And he gets up and he walks away. As he leaves, a faith keeper appears out from an alley and clubs the kid on the back of the head with a wooden bat, knocking the kid out.
That's Jobadia laughing. That's Jobadia laughing.
He picks the kid up on his shoulder, checks to make sure he's still alive. He looks over at you, and he just nods his head, and then he disappears into the crowd. A little bit after, traffic picks up a little bit again, and then a similar looking man, not the one from earlier, but he's dressed the same, shows up again, and he crouches down towards you. Doesn't look at your wares. He appears to be studying you, and he goes,
"You like what you see?"
I'm not sure. I think I know someone else that might, though. He looks you in your eyes, goes, "You the polar bear man?"
Do I have a polar bear on my head?
He cracks a smile and goes, "Good. Okay." He reaches into his pocket and pulls out a letter, and he kind of looks at you for a second before tossing it over at your feet. And he stands back up and walks away without a second word.
I picked the letter up and kind of put it in my pocket.
Okay, good. Well, eventually you hear a very loud bell begin to ring, and you would know that bell comes from right in front of the generator, and it's a summoning. There's a big gathering going on. Something important is happening, but you don't quite know what. Do you want to get up and go? Do you want to stay? What would you like to do?
I'm assuming a lot of people are heading towards that.
Everyone, the entire city.
Okay,
is
so no one's paying attention to me now. I'm going to read the letter, and then I'm going to follow just to see what's happening.
The letter has a very strange seal, and the handwriting is.
I like clipping those.
The handwriting says, "Dear friend, you've probably never thought about me, nor I of you, until this particular moment in time. I've definitely heard of you, your exploits out in the far lands, your reputation in this city. You're a somewhat oddity around here. But, based off what I've heard, you would be a definite aid in my mission that I am trying to do. Just based off of what I've heard alone, I'm willing to give you a chance. Go to the sacred district after the gathering, and you will meet your companions, and you will have a mission that could most likely be the most important thing you've done in your entire life. Signed, the captain. P.S. I have a hat like that too."
And the school's mine. And then I walk off towards the gathering.
Okay, and we're gonna cut it for now. Avi, or should I say Arron,
Yes, sir.
you are currently inspecting a few of the pipes and the valves, the gauges, making sure everything is set up proper. Oh, one thing, Noble, I'm sorry, I forgot to say this. Right as you finished reading the letter, the bell went off for the gathering. Forgot to mention that.
Okay, it's fine.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, AV, you're just checking there. Two workers show up to you. They've got their wrenches, you know, their gear on. They look filthy, and they go, "Buddy, you've been here for a little bit. We just want to get back to work. Is something wrong?"
Real quick, can I make a check to see if anything's actually wrong?
Sure, go ahead.
Would that be investigation or perception?
Investigation.
All right.
With advantage because you are an inspector.
Okay, so this is the first one. I don't know if you can. That's a 16. I can hold on. Got a 16. Here you can fucking my camera focuses. And the next one's a 15. So 16, 17, 18, 19. That'd be a 20 total. Because I have a +4 investigation.
Cool.
Why'd you roll twice?
He's at advantage.
He's an investigator. He does this shit for a living.
Oh, okay. I didn't use advantage.
Yeah. Well, nothing is really wrong. Most of the pipes look intact, if not a little bit rusty. One of the gauges is broken, the glass is, but the actual gauge is still functioning just fine. However, you see underneath the bottom valve and pipes, there's a bottle tucked way back in the corner.
Okay, and I'm gonna take. That's not supposed to be there at all, right?
No. Do you
Okay.
want to try and see what it is?
Yeah, I'll try and narrow down. Can I approach it, or do I have to kind of like look at it from an angle?
You can just look at it and grab it. You just reach in and grab the bottle.
Okay, I'll just reach in and grab it.
It is a bottle of moonshine. Half of it is drunk, and it's labeled 180 proof.
Good shit.
I mean, somebody here is fucking drunk.
Drinking is prohibited in every working site. If you are caught doing this, you will be fired and reassigned to a lower job. Yeah, it's a half-drunk bottle of moonshine that someone clearly tried to stash.
Got it. So those workers that were talking shit, I hold up the bottle and I kind of shake it and go, "Oh, what do we have here, huh?"
No way you can prove who has it, though, can you?
But I can shut this whole place down until we figure it out. Then nobody gets work.
I talked to the foreman about that. I'm not sure he'd agree with you. He looks over to his buddy. David, if that's your bottle, I'm gonna be so fucking pissed. We're supposed to drink that after work, not during.
Listen, I don't care whose bottle it is, okay? Just let me do my job. Or this is gonna stop you from doing your job.
Hmm. Then do you have any idea what we're supposed to be doing right now? They look at you. Around you, the factory is huge. It's about, well, not huge. It's about a mile long. Various machinery, pressing, fitting, hydraulic presses are slamming down, shaping metal. Um, yeah, there's tons of people walking around. It's very loud and noisy in here. Um, Up above, where you are, there's a catwalk to the foreman's office, as well as a few clerks up there doing paperwork. You're currently on the first floor. There's only two, and yeah.
Gotcha. Well, I don't really care what you're supposed to be doing right now. I will say that my business here is concluded, but I'm taking this bottle with me. Don't make me come back.
Perception. Do a perception check.
Okay. Will a passive perception of 16 be good?
Okay.
Alright, because that's a 7 on the roll plus 6. So I don't think that would be Han. 7 plus 6
13.
is 13. So yeah, 13. So I have a 16 passive and a 13 for a roll.
Okay. Good enough. When you say that you're taking the bottle, you see David's eyes kind of you see a scowl darken over his face. He doesn't say anything, but
Right.
you just see him get angry, and he nods his head and goes, "Well, do your job then. We'll go find something else to do, I guess." And he walks off with his buddy.
Yeah, I go, oh, and hey, David. David, my man. Keep the bottles at home,
He looks at you.
or I'll have you reassigned.
He looks at you, and he just has this really dead look in his eyes. And you see him reach for his wrench at first, and he quickly dashes his hand away and goes, "Sure, as long as you can prove it was me." And he walks away.
Is there like a trash can or anything?
Yeah, there's a few like industrial-sized trash cans all over the place.
I'm going to open the bottle up, and then I'm just going to pour it into the trash.
When you pour the bottle, nothing. It's not moonshine that's inside of the bottle. It's honey.
Oh. Hot. I stopped pouring it.
You would know honey is something that is reserved to the highest degree of people in this city. Bees almost went extinct. In fact, they did go extinct. The only reason why there's honey around now is because very small amounts of them were kept personally on the barges that were brought to the city, and they live underground in the thermal caves with gigantic lights serving as sunlight for them. And there's gardens and everything. Yeah.
That's why he's pissed.
Yeah.
I'm keeping this.
Okay.
Go.
What do you want to do now?
I guess I'll just kind of go report to whoever I would report to, be like, hey, you're all clear to resume full working.
That would be the foreman.
Okay, I'll go find the foreman.
Okay. You approach the door to his office. Outside of his office is a guard sitting in a seat smoking a cigarette. He looks up at you. He goes, "What you want?"
Is it morning or afternoon?
It's getting like mid-afternoon.
Okay. Afternoon. Here to see the foreman.
Foreman's pretty busy right now.
I'm Inspector Stone. I have business with him.
You say Inspector, and he quickly smokes the rest of his cigarette and stands up. And this man is about maybe late 20s. He's got a pretty shaggy beard going on, rough kept hair. You see blood on his knuckles, but You don't really you don't see any blood around him or anything. He just has it on him, and he's got a wooden baton at his hip. And he looks at you and goes, "Hey, no drinking on the job." And he chuckles a little bit and he points at the bottle.
Oh, I just found this floating around.
Well, if you say so, buddy. He does 3 quick knocks on the
Do you have
on
like
the
a? Sorry, go ahead.
he does 3 quick knocks on the foreman's door. And the door opens. Surprisingly, most of the lights are off. There's just a candle sitting on the foreman's desk, and he looks at you and goes, "Another inspector? We just had one come here last week."
Do I have a backpack or like any type of bag or anything?
Yeah, you've got like a satchel, pretty much.
I'm gonna quickly make sure the bottle's put away before walking in.
Okay.
I'm gonna go. Well, you know how they are. You're safe to resume all activities.
Yeah. Good. Good. You wouldn't imagine the amount of shit that happens whenever I stop for 5 minutes in this place.
I fully understand the importance of the working.
Okay.
Keep a close eye on your workers.
That's what the guards are for. I don't personally talk to them that much,
Mm.
but they're supposed to do their job. Supposed to. He looks over and at the guard and goes, "That's your 3rd cigarette this hour. Go and do literally anything else. Get off my fucking catwalk."
Maybe go
Guard.
take a look at David.
Which one? Him and it. Oh, wait a minute. I might know who you're talking about. He tells the guard to fuck off, pretty much. And the guard puts on his cap and marches down the catwalk and disappears among the machinery. And he looks at you and goes, come in, and I'm sure you have something to talk about."
Nothing really. Just a bit of attitude from him. That's about it.
From David? Well, I hate to break it to you, but you come in. I don't personally mind, except for shutting down the factory, but the workers don't like being interrupted. You know, their points and all that bullshit that they have to do. They just like their jobs to continue on, go home. But I wouldn't take it personally. I'm sure you know that. You do this for a living, after all.
Oh yes, I fully understand the importance.
Okay. Did you hear about the gathering that's supposed to happen later today? You're more in touch with the higher ups than I am. I don't think I'm gonna go to it though. Got too much paperwork to do.
Surprisingly, no. This is my first time hearing it, but I do get absolved into my work.
Yeah, I understand. Well, yeah, if fucks his face captain decides to show his face, tell him I said hi. His name's John, by the way.
This guy's name John?
Yeah, his name's John. It says so on his name tag. Everyone has name tags. I should have pointed that out.
Gotcha.
Okay.
What's your badge number?
He looks at yours, your badge, and goes, "Wait a minute. Stone? You're Inspector Stone."
That is correct. Yes.
He stands up without saying a word, walks over to the door, and locks it. And you hear the bolt click. And he comes.
Slowly, I'll kind of like set my hand where like my knife is, just in case.
Yeah, the foreman doesn't really say anything, but his demeanor has entirely changed. Before he was pretty friendly, looked pretty tired. Now his eyes have a very sharp look in them, and he sits back down at his table and pulls out a bottle of brandy and 2 cups. He looks at you and goes, "You want one?"
Can I do an insight check?
Sure.
Make sure he's not trying to. Yeah. That is. So you can see it's a 9.
Okay.
Plus 6. Hold on. Let me do my little quick math. I got my calculator over here. 15 total.
The bottle's a pretty common brand. It's not even opened. The seal is still on the bottle and everything. Yeah, it just the cups. You can see there's nothing in them either. They're clean. They're just tin cups, and
I'll go.
he's yeah.
I'll go ahead and drink from it.
Okay. He pours you a cup and hands it to you. Hands it
Noble,
to you.
what are you doing?
Can you hear that?
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah, he pours you a cup, hands it to you. Proceeds to pretty much not touch his cup, and proceeds to chug some of the brandy out of the bottle, and puts it and just slams it on the table. And goes, now, I don't like to do business with a man without having a little bit of liquor in my system, especially the good shit. As he taps the bottle with his finger, I have something for you.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. Now, who this came from, you'll find out soon. But he pulls out a letter and slides it towards you. I should warn you, that letter comes from someone more powerful than you can understand. I don't know what it says. They just told me to give it to you. And then it came with the warning. Tell anyone what's on it, show it to anyone, and you'll spend the rest of your days on a pillory outside. Now, it's not coming from me. I'm not trying to do anything here. That's coming from who I was told.
Oh, Lord.
Now, if you'll excuse me, he gets up. I'd rather not get involved in this shit any more than I have to.
Yes.
Feel free to have some more brandy if you want. I don't know what the letter says, but I doubt it's anything good. And he goes, unlocks the door, and leaves.
Before he leaves, I go, it's a pleasure, John.
You too. Don't come back to my factory soon if you can. I'm trying to get caught up.
I'll make a note.
Good. Thank you. He leaves. He closes the door behind him.
And I'll open the letter.
Okay.
Drinking from the brandy.
Yeah. The brandy's actually it's like pretty top shelf stuff. He's a foreman. Gets paid pretty damn good. The letter, you open it. It's got a strange seal on it, and the letter said. By the way, the seal looks like a very arcane symbol in a way, and in very short handwriting, it says, "Inspector, my dear Inspector. So many of you wandering around the city now, but you, of all of them, tend to interest me more than they. I have a mission for you. You'll be greeted with others once you gather in the sacred district after the meeting by the generator. Show no one this letter under any circumstance. And I do hope when you show up, well, no. For now, just show up in your best suit, if you will, and come meet me. I have a mission that decides the life or death of this city. Signed, the captain. P.S. Enjoy the brandy."
Okay.
That is creepy.
Mm-hmm. And then that's cut for you. Do you have anything else you want to do?
No, I think that'd be completely it.
Okay.
I think I'm just gonna like, oh, okay, and then proceed to do what I'll finish off the brandy.
Yeah. Okay.
All of it?
Yes.
Yeah. Roll
all
Constitution.
of it, but like not all of it, like enough to like like that point where you start feeling like a little, like you start feeling that feeling in the back of your mind.
You
You're
feel
like,
good, but you don't
whoa.
feel drunk.
Right. I stop as soon as that feeling hits.
Cool. Okay. Now we cut to Scotchmo. Scotchmo is currently in one of the tabernacles in the lower district. There's plenty of workers who just got off their shifts, and plenty of workers milling around who are going to their shifts to replace them. You're currently having a bottle of beer. It's all right. It's not bad quality, but you've had much better. Bartender is just cleaning glasses, pouring shots, pouring bottles for other people. There's about 20 people in the bar, all having their own thing. A few ladies standing around, not really doing anything. And yeah, it's pretty lively scene going on right now. Outside, there's a few shops, a few things going on. A lot of people walking around this time of the day, which is a little bit unusual, but nothing you haven't seen before. That's pretty much it. What would you like to do?
Do I have a bottle in front of me?
Oh yeah, you've got a bottle of pretty stout beer.
I start drinking.
Bartender looks over at you, and he just kind of lifts up 2 fingers and kind of he lifts up 2 fingers and says another.
Yes.
Good.
Hell yes.
you hear him chuckle. Weren't you here yesterday and the day before
I
that?
don't know.
No, I suppose not.
I don't know.
That's okay. He brings you out. It's a same beer, hasn't been opened. Pops open the tab, pours it in a mug for you, slides it over, and goes back to talking to someone next to you. They're just talking about the the gathering that's supposed to happen later today. Apparently, everyone in the city is going to be there. Nothing like this has really happened in a few years. No one's really sure what it's going to be about, but yeah, it's supposed to be something super important, but they don't know when it's going to be. All of a sudden, someone kicks open the door, and you see a man on a table, maybe a few feet away from you, stand up and tries to run out the back door. When that door gets kicked open too, and a faith keeper is there, a very big faith keeper wearing a different cloak. Usually they wear bright red cloaks with the symbol of the generator on the back. This is a very large man, about 7 feet tall, wearing a dark purple cloak, and the guy running away gets caught up on his own feet and trips, and then the very large faith keeper stomps down on his head, knocking him out. Two regular faith keepers come in. He hands the body of the knocked out guy to them and says, "Be gone with him. Profligates can die like everyone else." And they leave, and he stands up in the middle of the room and goes, "If anyone here is caught stealing food, drink, or anything else of importance, they will be put on a pillory and condemned to death by cold." He looks around, looks at another man, kind of fidgeting, and grabs him by the neck and says, "Do you understand? You're moving more than the rest of these fools." And the guy squirms a little bit, and he goes, "Fine. I was just drinking. Fuck off." And you hear the faith keeper chuckle before punching the man in the face and throwing him back down on the ground. And he leaves, and he slams the door behind him.
I vaguely notice all of this while being 7 different types of hammered.
If you want, you can do a perception check.
No.
Don't
No
want to do it?
perception check. He is hammered.
Hold on.
He cannot
Hold on.
perceive much of anything.
Give him a penalty.
Hold
Who
on.
did this today?
Okay,
Shit's a giggle.
that is a good point.
Okay.
I guess I take a perception roll with penalty.
We'll do -3 to whatever you're doing.
Okay, how to do that then?
I think you just click on your perception skill and roll.
Yeah, just roll.
Yeah,
Okay.
just roll.
20.
So 17. No, it doesn't matter. You get an at 20. It doesn't fucking matter.
He didn't get a net 20 though. He got a 17 plus 3.
Oh.
So he got.
Oh, a 17.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, despite your drunken haze taking over everything that you are, you see a tiny little bit of the very tall Faithkeeper's face, and it's burned, incredibly burned, and you see a symbol tattooed right underneath his eye, but you can't quite identify what it is. Okay.
I go back to drinking.
As you're drinking, not much of note really happens. The man that got punched in the face just kind of picks himself back up, goes back to drinking with a big black eye, and the bartender he just sighs really heavily and goes, "That's the 4th time those fuckers have bursted into my bar and beat people up. I'm getting real tired of it. They can't even let the poor drink in peace these days. So much shit going on. Tired of it." And a few people in the bar who hear him go, just they agree, raise their mugs, say fuck the Faith Keepers, and go back to drinking. And he looks over at you and goes, "They ever harassed you, Scotchmo?"
Harass who? Harass me? Harass he?
I don't know why I
I
asked.
don't know.
I don't know why I asked. He just kind of sighs, puts a bottle on the table, and as he puts it on the table, he kind of walks over and goes, I need you to come with me." He looks you in the eyes. He doesn't have the usual look. He's got a very focused and intent look. He goes, "Can you
Are the
come with me?"
squeezins there?
Oh, we got plenty of squeezins and much more, but we won't be needing that after this.
Oh, we always need squeezins. All right, let's go.
He kind of puts his hand on your shoulder and guides you to the back room, his office pretty much. In there is another Faith Keeper. This one's wearing a red robe and a mask, and you can't tell what he looks like. And he points over at at a seat. Doesn't say anything. He just points. And the bartender goes, "Have a seat, Scotchmo. There's something you need to know."
Take a seat.
Good. He says,
I stumble on my way there, though.
"Do you want to roll a dexterity check to see if you fall?"
Yes.
God damn it.
Roll a 1. Roll a 1. Roll a 1. Roll it.
Okay.
You stumble pretty hard, but you manage to catch yourself, and you hear a few of the patrons laughing as they see you. They're not laughing at you. They just think it's amusing.
I don't think Scotchmo would care if they were care or notice if they're laughing at him.
Yeah. um. Yeah. You sit down. The barkeep goes, "Take another look at that bottle I gave you out there."
Okay. Alright, yeah.
You upon further examination, the bottle doesn't actually have any squeezins in it. Instead, there's a note. And he says, now, don't get angry. I just had to be discreet with it." And he pulls up another bottle of age squeezins and places it on the table.
My eyes wide.
He goes, "You read that letter, and as long as you agree to do what it says, you can come back here and get all the free squeezins you want, paid for by let's call him a benefactor." And you hear the Faithkeeper behind you chuckle a little bit.
I've already smashed the bottle open and began reading.
And goes, "Dear Scotchmo, I knew your father and his father before him. I've watched as you turn to drink as your life fell apart. And I can't stand it any longer. I can see who you truly be past the drunken haze, and I need something from you. Something very important, something that will be the most important thing that you've done in your entire life. Come meet me in the Sacred District, and if you need help getting there, it will be arranged. Just ask the man behind you. Signed, the captain. Oh, sorry, fuck. I fucked up. It says meet me in the Sacred District after the gathering. Signed, the captain.
Okay. I would like to make a Constitution save
Go on ahead.
to avoid passing out as I stand up to go.
Go on ahead. You don't black out, but you fall over and you have a really hard time getting back up. And you hear the barkeeper, or sorry, you halfway, you see the two barkeepers. It's just one, but you're so fucked up it looks like two. Put his head in his hands, and he just snaps his fingers, and you see the faith keeper look over at you and takes out a clear white bottle with a whole bunch of weird symbols on it, and he walks over to you and he says, "Drink, drink."
Gladly. I begin to chug it down.
You chug it. It doesn't taste like anything. It doesn't taste like water. It tastes like you're drinking in air. Pretty soon, the room begins to spin and you black out. And a few minutes later, you wake up by the bar again. Except the bar is entirely empty. Nobody's in it. All the lights are off. And you hear a bell ringing off in the distance.
I scratch my beard and decide to head towards the bell.
Okay. Now this will be for all of you, since I don't want to have to do this segment individually. All of you make your way to the gathering. Essentially, the entire city is here. All 30,000 people, all in a massive circle. There's chanting. There's people lifting flags, and they're all raising their hands, their fist over and over again, chanting, "Show us, show us, show us."
Fucking cultists.
Yeah, it's just like,
I'm
"Show
raising my
us."
hand and doing the same thing, going USA. USA. Nah, I'm fucking with you.
Yeah.
That's how you get killed.
I know. I'm fucking with you.
And you guys see. Hold on. You see. All of you gradually make your way to the closer part of the gathering, and this is what you see pretty much all around you. Just a massive group of people, and there is a extremely big man in front of the crowd with his arms sort of splayed out like in the picture, and chanting. There's people screaming. You know, again, it's 30,000 people all gathered in this square. There's tons of stuff going on, and then something that has never happened before happens. The man lifts up his hand and closes his fist, and the generator shuts off.
Oh, fuck.
It shuts off, and everything goes dead quiet as hundreds, if not thousands, of Faith Keepers form a circle around the entire group.
You shoveled a bunch of fucking charcoal, damn it.
Do you say that?
Yeah, I say that.
Person behind you goes, I don't know what's going on, but it can't be good.
Sorry, go ahead. No.
The Faith Keepers surround the circle and pretty much form a wall, preventing anyone from getting out. Those who try to run away get smacked and beaten down by the Faith Keepers and get dragged off.
What the fuck is happening here?
And the man lifts up a microphone, and he goes, "People of the last
going
city, I bring you here in commemoration of the Great Storm, something that tore our city asunder and left us in ruins. But we've rebuilt and reestablished ourselves as the true last hope of humanity. Now, I'm sure you understand, in this day and age, you're all tired of working all the time. You don't get to spend time with your families. You don't get to do anything fun except go to the bar, fuck your wife, do whatever. I don't care. If we don't succeed in our mission, we will fail and humanity will fall and never come back. But this," he says, he points to the now disabled generator, says, "This is our hope, our salvation, our guiding light in the darkness of the future. This is our key. 40 years until the great thaw comes. And then we will all be free. We will all be free to return to how we once lived, with our God performing miracles, the likes of which none of you can even comprehend." And you hear he raises his arms again, like in the picture, and all of a sudden, every single member of the Faith Keepers begins chanting, and I need all of you to roll me a Constitution save.
Okay.
Whatever I roll. Oh no, it's +3. Okay. Okay. That I'm gonna pick it up. If you can see, that's an 18 plus
Good.
3.
Wait.
So.
I got a fucking 5.
Oh,
Well,
shit.
you're also mad. They put out your fucking coal. You spent all day doing that.
I got
shit.
a 4
True.
plus a 2, so that's the 6.
21.
Okay. So 21, 6, 6, or a 4 and a 6. And what'd you get, Assassin?
I got a 15.
Okay. Scotchmo and Jobadia are perfectly fine.
No, I got a 6.
Oh, fuck, sorry.
Arron.
Scotchmo and Arron, both of you hear slight ringing in your ears, but nothing really happens.
Tinnitus.
Jobadia and Thomas, both of you begin to feel like your hearts are beating out of your chest and your ears are ringing so loud that you both collapse to the ground. But through the ringing, you can see other people around you have also collapsed. Some of them have full on passed out, and others are just standing. And he goes, "But some of us don't deserve to live in this city. Some of us deserve to not see the thaw. That they deserve to be fed to the generator like we did centuries or decades ago,
What?
to preserve the light that powers this great civilization. I see those around you, weak-willed, strong-willed, it doesn't matter." And he says, it doesn't matter. I need all of you to give me your best, or if we don't," and he lifts up both of his fists again, and the generator, everyone begins, the generator begins to shudder and shake. It looks like it's about to explode, to be honest. And then a gigantic explosion cracks from the top of it, and fire comes out, and the pressure gauge goes back to the maximum setting, and all around you, the snow begins to melt for about in a 5-mile radius, just from the generator alone. Then this will never be possible. None of this will. I need all of you to give me your best. All of he goes, all of you, and he keeps saying all of you, and he begins to pump his fist in the air, and soon enough, everyone around you that hasn't passed out or is sitting on the ground lifts their fists up in the air and just chants, all of us, all of us, all of us, over and over again. and it pretty much looks just like the first picture of everyone in the air, or everyone with their fists in the air. And he lowers his hands back down, and the generator cools down a little bit. The snow actually begins to touch on the ground and form, where before it got vaporized instantly. The pressure gauge goes back to normal. And yeah, after that, he lifts the microphone up to his mouth and speaks very softly and goes, "These are the end times, but not for humanity. I won't let it." And then he puts the mic up, and he walks off towards the generator and goes directly into the fire behind him, and he disappears like that. Yeah.
No, sorry. Finish. Sorry.
After he walks into the fire, it doesn't even look like he starts burning. He just disappears like immediately. The Faith Keepers begin to blast music from various music boxes that they're holding, and each of you suddenly feel invigorated beyond anything you've ever felt before. All of you are packed with energy like you've never felt, and people begin going crazy, just running around doing whatever, and over time it begins to disperse. People begin to leave, and as each of you try to leave, you are grabbed by a Faith Keeper. All of you are, and you are shuttled towards the Sacred District.
Did they grab me forcefully?
They grab you with such strength that, I'll tell you what, if any of you want, you can roll a strength check.
Yeah.
If
I am
want
gonna
to.
say yes, just because.
I rolled a 2.
So no.
You know what? I'm gonna go along with it and just be like, "Geez, man, he didn't."
I rolled a
gotta pull it out
12.
fucking hard.
I rolled a 12, but that's -1, so 11.
You actually managed to break free from one of them, but another one quickly pretty much tackles you to the ground.
Like,
goes,
relax. Relax.
You can't really see past the cloak, but he picks you back up, and he points towards the Sacred District and just says, "March."
Okay.
There's squeezes where we're going.
They don't say anything.
Oh.
Damn, man, you're gonna be so
Do
forced.
we see each other, by the way?
Not right now. There's too many people running around and doing everything. It's just somehow all of you got singled out.
Okay.
You guys see that you actually kind of got a better treatment than other people. You see people in their crazed hysteria start breaking stuff, like breaking into buildings before quickly being beaten, and just dragged off by the Faith Keepers. One of them actually gets his head smashed in, and it's just left on the ground.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Fucking savages.
Hey, we got some cherry slushies today.
Savages.
But yeah, so all of you get taken to the Sacred District. You all get taken to the same point. Nobody is around. Nobody. Not a single person. Not a single person is around in sight. All the lights are on, but every door is locked. Every window is closed and gated. And I'll give you guys time to interact with each other, because the Faith Keepers showed up, tossed you all together, and then in sync they all yelled, "Wait!" and then they left.
We all here for the same party?
I guess so.
A bottle of hidden squeezins from my sock and start drinking.
We're all going to be executed, aren't we?
I don't think we're being executed. Somebody needs something. From me, at least. I am pretty important.
That's what my letter says as well.
Mine as well, but you never know. Things always lie.
Scotchmo finishes chugging his squeezins and offers it to the bareheaded man next to him.
I take the bottle and I pull out one of my own and hand it to you.
Oh, thank you.
I drink your bottle.
What's your character's name again? Noble.
Thomas Kilner.
Thomas. Oh wait, does it say everybody's full name or just last name?
Full name.
Do I have a name
Full
tag?
name.
No, you would not. You are not a member of the city.
Mr. Kilner, do you have any alcohol to share? It seems they're sharing alcohol.
I just came here from work, and we're not allowed to have alcohol in us.
Oh, that doesn't stop you guys. Trust me.
I know. But still trying to get up there.
While you guys are talking, you hear. Actually, no. All of you do a perception check right now.
Ooh, okay.
Does a passive 16 help?
Yes. You don't even have to roll.
Okay.
Where is my...
I get a 22, but I should take a penalty because
Woo! I got a
still
3.
Um,
God damn it.
you don't hear shit. Assassin or
Hold on.
Scotchmo, you hear it. And then
22.
God damn, I got 5.
the minimum was a 10. Actually, no, sorry, it was a 7. So
I got a 22.
Scotchmo and Tom. No,
hang on,
Arron.
hang on. The drunkest person here who shouldn't be able to understand where he's even at is the only one.
I
That's
No, Arron.
feel like a roleplay wise, it's like, is there squeezins nearby?
Scotchmo and Arron both hear dozens of footsteps all marching in order coming close to you guys, but you don't see anyone right now. It sounds kind of far off.
It sounds like there's people coming over here. Lots of them.
I can't hear shit. I have too much charcoal dust in my ears.
I just...
Well, why don't
I
you
wonder-
try again?
Jobadia is chugging the
wonder if
bottle and
there'll
he's
be
just holding his
something
finger up to you like, hold on. He's just drinking.
Um,
Can I check again?
The footsteps all sound like that. Yeah, you can roll again. The footsteps all sound like they're in sync. Like they're all.
7.
That's it. You the minimum was a 7, so you now hear. It sounds like maybe 20, 30 people, all marching like in exact precision. And a few seconds later, you see dozens of militia members and one of the captain's guard in the front, all marching towards you.
Oh shit! Here we go.
Now, militia
no.
are
Get out of the
are
I finished off the
Are-
bottle and threw it to the ground.
are militiamen are just the usual like general soldiers. They're pretty well trained to defend the city, but they're all wearing like standard like steel armor, and they have they all have rifles like tucked up against their shoulders. The captain's guard, the one that you see in the front, is an impossibly big man, about as big as the one that Scotchmo saw in the bar earlier. Except he is not wearing a cloak, like him. He is wearing a very long leather trench coat and has a generator symbol tattooed on his forehead.
Oh.
They march up to you guys and surround you, and the captain's guard walks up to let me think. Yeah, he just walks up to you guys, and he kind of looks over you and goes, "Huh? He really knows how to pick 'em, doesn't he? Jesus."
Apparently.
Is that supposed to mean something?
I guess not. I'm gonna need all of you to surrender your weapons and anything you have on you, as he points to Scotchmo. I know you have something. Give it here. He points to the bottle of squeezins that you tried hiding.
I don't think I have anything on me.
Scotchmo hugs the squeezins to his chest. Where's my squeezins?
He steps up Actually, no, he doesn't step up close to you. He snaps his fingers, and two of the militiamen are at your sides. They don't touch you. They don't do anything. They just march out and step to your sides. And he goes, "You'll get it back when you're done. Hand it over now."
That's my squeezins.
He surprisingly, a smile cracks on his face. And he goes, "At least they're stubborn." He snaps his fingers again.
I hand over my stuff very reluctantly. Well, sorry. Arron hands over his stuff very reluctantly, especially his rifle.
You actually, Arron, do me a history check.
History? Oh, okay.
You'd be the only one that might actually know who this is.
Can I try to keep my swords hidden underneath the back of my jacket?
Deception.
Would that be
I
deception?
got an 11
Yes.
plus.
That'd be a 5.
Nope,
history?
they find it and they fucking yank it from you.
That's gonna be a 15.
That's everything else down there. This is the only thing I was trying to hide.
Man, he goes, you'll get everything back once you're done, but we cannot allow anything to endanger who you're going to meet. Arron, you would actually know that this is one of the captain's right-hand men. The captain's guard is about as elite as it gets, but there are two men that are with him at almost all points in time. That would be Skolmer, and well, you don't know the other one's name. Most people just call him Scarface. I know. This is
Because
well,
he's that ugly.
he doesn't actually have a face.
Jeez.
His face was pretty much torn apart during the Great Storm, whenever he was trying to stop a riot that was happening. And although he was able to get away from the riot, his face was torn to shreds, and he pretty much wears an iron mask now. This isn't him. It's Skulfner. Skulfner is considered one of the most brutal men on the captain's guard. He's responsible for hundreds of people being put in pillories and being thrown into the generator in the past. You see, he actually has an antimatter pistol on his hip, which you would know. The way I'm doing this in the campaign is if you get shot by
pistol, Jesus fuck.
If you get shot by that, it's like a 3d10, I think. It fucking hurts. Yeah. The rest of the militiamen just have regular flintlock rifles, and a few have like laser weapons, like the more elite ones. But yeah, he has an antimatter pistol, and he looks extremely armored, and he's also covered in scars and all of that. He lifts up his hand and makes a fist, and the militiamen clear a path through the circle they formed around you guys. And he turns around. He goes, "Would you please follow me?" Well, you don't really have a choice, but I like to be nice about it.
Do I get to keep my squeezins?
I swear to God. Yes. Yes.
I don't have anything except for the clothes on my back. Do you want the clothes? As I start to take off my shirt.
God damn.
You fucking smart ass.
When you start to take them off, you feel several hands grab onto your back, and he just says, "No. No. I swear to God.
Can you just make sure I get my rifle back?
Everything will be accounted for and cleaned. You shall get it back spotless."
I want my clothes cleaned.
I look at my like I've named this rifle the Broken Memory, right? It is like it's full of like old scrap. Like this rifle looks like shit Like it's got a cracked buttstock, like it's all, but like it's got like a, now like how post-apocalyptic weapons look like, they got like the wrappings all over it and all that shit. There's like a little bit of stuff hanging on it. It's like, no, exactly how you're getting it.
He turns to you and says, "Everything will be accounted for." He says it very matter-of-factly. So you guys were marched to past the sacred district, past really anything. You get marched outside of the city, and a blizzard is kicked up, and you guys can't really see anything except for the glow of the lanterns from the soldiers. You even pass by the captain's manor. It looks strangely empty, though. There's no lights or anything. And you get marched to a hatch very far off from the city. Pretty much, you go through a little rock tunnel. All of the militiamen stay outside, and it's just Sculpner and you guys. And he opens up this hatch in the ground. It's in a cave, pretty much. And he goes, "Please, jump on in."
What's the captain's sex dungeon, I say?
I wouldn't disrespect him like that if I were you. You know,
Sculpner gives a pretty good chuckle. He says, "Oh, you don't have to worry about, well, maybe I'll put in a good word for you since you seem so interested. But the rest of you were fine."
ooh,
I say huzzah nervously.
He chuckles again, and you see his hands kind of tap his antimatter pistol.
Okay, I'll go in.
Scotchmo moves to the hole. I'd like to make a dexterity saving throw.
God damn it. Go on ahead, bud. Go on ahead.
what's happening?
He's gonna fall down the hole.
Can
So
I
ask, what's your name again?
Does he look like he's gonna
It's
fall?
a fucking 17. He's fine.
He's fine. He's fine.
Oh.
Yeah. Each of you climb down the tunnel. At first, you climb down about 10 feet. At first, it's just your standard, like, steel walls and steel floor, but then it becomes very ornately crafted wood. Very, like, there's... You've never really seen wood like this. All the wood that you've seen, there's, like, frozen timber that they've carved out of the ice. Or timber that filled the crater before it was cut down. Scotchmo, if he would like, can do an investigation to see what type of wood this is.
I don't think Scotchmo would
Air.
Well, yeah, I guess so.
You don't have to if you don't want to. It's just optional.
A 6.
Hello? Okay, you don't know what type of wood it is. Scotchmo it damn, that sure is wood. That's pretty much all that he thinks.
I don't even know. It's staggering everywhere.
So yeah, it's just really, like, it's glossy, ornate carved wood. Pretty much on the floors, on the walls, there's pictures on the on like paintings on the walls and stuff, and then a great steel door. And the captain's guard guy walks up, slams his fist on the door twice, and then presses a button behind one of the paintings, and the door opens. And he says, "You may enter," as he says sarcastically.
Arron will try and step in first.
Okay. Okay. Once all of you are in, this room is big, really big. About 30. The ceiling is about 30 feet high. There's really, you've never seen furniture this nice before. There's even fireplace, like actual brick fireplaces, all over the place, warming up. Just warming up the place.
Oh shit.
There's spiraling staircases made out of like metal that you've never seen, lined with wood, and you just see a handful of the captain's guards sitting around, drinking, smoking, laughing, having fun, playing cards. And you see a few women around, all very shapely, very, very, very attractive. Like pretty much they got the best looking women from the city and brought them here. And Skulfner closes the door behind you. He goes, "Oh, you don't get to have any fun here right now. Go up the stairs. Go up the stairs."
I'll try to grab a bottle of alcohol as I go up the stairs.
I just, for
Scamo,
clarification.
Okay, first things first. Noble deception. In you two, or
I
no,
think
noble
that'd be
sleight of hand. Sleight of hand.
Let him hand, okay.
Jobadia is not fucking around here. He hates being told what to do, but he knows it's the best thing to do right now. So he's just like, okay, doing it.
I also need to go sleight of hand for this.
Oh,
What are you
fuck.
doing?
I'm
Oh,
I'm Scotchmo. I'm stealing liquor. What else could I be doing?
Okay, so Arron. Wait, so who? Thomas rolled a
Aaron's
7.
going to it. Aaron's going to admire anything and everything that's technological in here. So if there's like a little tiny radio thing, you bet he's like fucking hovering over that shit.
Okay, 6. So Thomas, you try and grab a bottle from one of the tables. One of the captain's guards grabs your wrist violently, and just like lifts up the visor from his helmet, and you see that one of his eyes have been ripped out like you saw before, and the other eye is you've never seen a color that blue before, and he says, "Fine," and he flings you away, and I need you to do a dexterity save.
Okay.
And I will get to Scotchmo in a second.
17.
You actually managed to catch yourself.
Nice
and,
try, Ice Boy. I say to him.
And you feel Skulfner put a very heavy hand on your shoulder, and he squeezes really tightly, not enough to hurt you. And he leans down and whispers in your ear, "Oh, there'll be plenty of drinking afterwards, but I wouldn't do that again unless you like having your hands."
You got it. You got it.
Scotchmo's turn.
Scotchmo. Yeah, you pretty much. Okay. You try to grab a bottle after seeing what happened to Thomas. You try to grab a bottle, off a table that nobody's looking at. You do manage to grab the bottle. Then you hear a click behind your head, and you turn around, and it's Scarface.
Come on, we all friends, right?
You turn around, and he has his antimatter pistol pointed pretty much directly at your head, and
I don't associate with these people.
And
Scotchmo is smiling throughout this
and
entire evening.
Jobadia is up the stairs.
you don't you don't see you don't okay. Scarface doesn't say anything, but you hear very heavy breathing inside the helmet. But his hand is not moving or shaking at all. Skulfner quickly shoves you out of the way. Also do me a dexterity save. And Scarface, lowers the gun. 18. Okay, you're fine. It goes.
That was the drunk rolling the best.
And he goes, leave them alone. I doubt they're used to anything like this in their entire lives. Cut them a break, or I'll cut you one.
Except for maybe Snobstone, I say.
He points at the stairs and goes, "Get up there before I punch you in the face."
I move to the stairs.
Yeah. I salute him. Yes, sir.
Good.
Go upstairs.
All right.
I feel like I'm gonna get killed.
They pretty much if you guys were to pay attention, as you're going up the stairs, you hear Scarface say something in this deep, guttural-sounding voice, and he pretty much just says Outlanders over and over again, in like various levels of like insanity, and then Skulfner puts his hand on his shoulder. He goes, "Go back to drinking. They won't be here long." I fucking hope not, anyways. I hate the commons. And yeah, he doesn't follow you. He stays at the bottom of the stairs and goes, "First door, the big one. If you miss it, I'll be surprised." Except for the drunk one.
Give a good laugh.
They just don't like you.
They don't like any of us.
They don't like anyone. The captain's guard are really fucking mean.
I go to the door.
Okay.
I follow blindly.
It has.
I go, Scotchmo, is that door right there? You go first. That one at a different door.
Okay. No. No.
By the door, there are two more of the captain's guard. These ones are wearing entirely different armor. It looks like armor from Tesla City. It's got.
Can I make a? Sorry, go ahead. Finish.
It's got electric diodes all over them, buttons, things flashing. It looks just like steampunk armor, just like brilliantly crafted, covered in technology. And they each have antimatter rifles in their hands. They're also wearing iron masks, but theirs are shaped like Nikola Tesla.
Can I make any type of like perception or like investigation? Because since I'm from Tesla, right?
Yeah.
And my character loves that shit. Can I make some kind of like investigation relating that?
I feel like history might be the best role for that.
History. Okay. It's time to nut up or shut up.
Nut up or shut up.
History is gonna be a +4. That's see that. That's a 19 + 4, so 23.
Oh yeah, you would know. This armor was personally crafted for Nikola Tesla's bodyguards. This armor has no equivalent in the entire wasteland at all. It is priceless.
Arron kind of looks at it for a second, and then like his eyes and his whole face light up. He goes, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my generator." Right, that's what you gotta say. Can I touch this, please? Please. Can I touch it?
The guards look at you.
It's handcrafted for Tesla's guards. Please.
They look at each other. They both walk up to you, and they both place their hands on your shoulders. And they both lock eyes with you for a solid minute and don't say anything.
Oh, this is real fucking awkward.
Aaron's gonna slowly like, reach his hands up, like his arms up, and try and put his hands on top of their hands. Kind of like he's got like, if you can see where I'm like, he's doing like this with his hands. And he's gonna like kind of put his hands over their hands to try and touch the armor.
They pretty much both slap your hands out of the way, point their rifles at the door, and they yell, "Go!" But their voices sound very off, very metallic sounding.
Can I make it? Can I make an insight?
Sure.
You said metallic.
Yes.
Do we know what androids are?
All of you know what androids are. They're pretty common in the city.
And that's gonna be inside, so +6, so that's a 16 total.
You can't be absolutely sure, as the armor itself can be worn by people, But the way that these guards move, they move very stiff, very rigid, and they move in sync. You think that they might be androids based on the way that they're behaving, but they don't give you any clues. But you're pretty damn sure that they're androids.
Okay, perfect.
And yeah, they both yell "go," and they shuffle you guys towards the door, and they maintain at attention on either side of the door. And who wants to open it?
Oh, yeah.
I'll open it. Jobadia.
Aaron, I guess. If no, okay, Jobadia.
Simply because he would have opened it while you were being fucked with.
Yeah.
That's
As he's opening the door, the guards pretty much, they don't shove you, but they pretty much move you towards the door and then get back to attention. Inside is actually a pretty small room. There's a man sitting at a desk. It's a marble desk, and the room is actually incredibly simple. It only has a few candles lighting it up. There's a nice big fireplace in the corner. Um, there's actually a refrigerator over in the corner, an actual working refrigerator, which none of you have seen except for Arron. But
Seems redundant.
the man at the table looks up at you, and his eyes are a deep sort of gold color. They seem like they're glowing almost. He's wearing pretty simple attire. He's pretty much just wearing like a casual dress outfit, nice collared shirt. You can see an overcoat draped on a coat hanger behind him, and he's going through paperwork, writing stuff down as you guys are walking up before he looks up at you. And there are chairs for very ornate, very comfy, like leather chairs arranged out in front of him for all of you to sit in. He doesn't say a word either. He just motions for you to sit for you to sit in the chairs.
Aaron will take a seat.
Jobadia will
Well,
lean on the
like-
back of a seat. He will not sit down.
And be like,
If he can help it.
I'm pushing my luck. I just go sit down.
Aaron's gonna be like, that's a nice refrigerator.
The man doesn't say anything. When looking at this man, he looks incredibly weathered, old, but he doesn't look frail. He is impossibly built. He doesn't look human in the sense that his physique is flawless. He's pretty much covered in muscle, but he doesn't look like it. He's pretty much impressively jacked. He has a very, very light stubble beard across his face. His hair is combed back. Yeah, but if any of you would like to do a perception check, you can.
I'll do one.
Yes.
There's one as well.
That's
That's a nat 1, and so you can see.
You can see it's about it.
Nice.
I am so distracted by all of the fucking technology in this room.
Yeah.
I have 16.
I got 17.
And what about Scotchmo?
I don't think he gives a fuck.
I
Okay.
don't. Scotchmo is.
He's too focused on the
It's like,
what'd you call it?
Squeeze.
Squeezins.
Squeezums, yeah.
So, after all of you more or less sit down, the man stands up and goes, You look about the same as the last time I saw all of you. Welcome to my not so humble workstation. He kind of puts his hands on the desk. I've brought each of you for a very important reason. And for all of you who did a perception check and passed, you see that he actually has a cross behind his desk in a corner, a Christian cross. And you can tell it's Christian because it has a little Jesus thing, on the cross, tied up on it. He doesn't comment on it at all. He says, I brought all of you here for a very good reason. But we'll talk about that later. Each of you have very particular skills, talents, experiences that I need. There are other teams like you that I have brought for one very important reason. You all know who I am, I'm going to assume. Do any of you know who he is?
Yes,
I'm
he's the
just
captain.
staring daggers.
You're the captain.
It's Scotchmo, just to see what he does.
He chuckles and goes, I never much liked that name. You can call me Isaiah, if you will.
I thought the old captain was Isaiah, though. I say.
He looks at you, and a pretty warm smile crosses his face, and he goes, good. Keep thinking that. Don't never speak another word. It seems like whenever he looks at one of you, a cold shudder appears on your back, like something's incredibly wrong.
He's a zombie.
He looks at each of you. Each of you feel the cold shudder on your back, and he goes, well, how about this? All of you can just call me Isaiah. I don't want any questions on it, for none of you need to know right now. Perhaps later on. There's a mission that I need all of you to go on. As I said, all of you have skills and talents that I see in one way or another, whether or not you realize it or not. He gives Scotchmo a quick little glance when he says that.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I assume all of you saw the gathering in the courtyard by the generator. When was the last time any of you saw the generator being turned off?
I don't think I've ever heard of it being cut off.
Exactly. You see, the generator is dying. Technology built back then was built in haste, not to last. And there's something coming. Something the likes of which that would put even the great storm of old, well, let's just say it would put it in scale. He chuckles again. I can't even describe to you how bad it will be if this comes to fruition. I need all of you to suit up and leave the city. Some of you for the first time, I'm sure. But I need you all to go and get me something that we need to fix the generator. Something that if you do not get, the city will collapse and everyone will starve and die, and it will fall into anarchy.
I say nervously, I'm not sure. I never left the city before. This would be my first time.
You'll be given instructions and a vehicle that will take you wherever you need to go. I will provide any sort of food that you need for the journey, as well as protection. Now, how much do any of you know about the generators? Do you know what powers them? Who built them?
Can I make a history check?
All of you can, but he's going to explain it.
Okay. I'm just gonna...
I just
Anyway,
want to
I
see
got a-
how low I roll.
19 total.
Okay.
That's with the 15.
19.
So 19 total.
16.
I don't actually know if you're looking whenever I hold up the dice.
No, I am. I try to be sure. 19, 16. What did you get? Thomas and Scotchmo? Or does Scotchmo not even care?
Is Assassin even here?
Assassin?
Huh? Sorry. I'd kind of zoned out really badly. What happened?
Essentially, The captain asked you, just make a history check. The captain asked you how much you knew about the generator.
Scotchmo rolls a nat 20. He knows everything.
14.
14, not bad.
We got a 13.
So, you guys know, including Thomas, that the generator was built by the people of old, as they're called, the past civilizations. And while I think, Scotchmo doesn't care, Jobadia doesn't care, Arron knows that it's fake. Thomas believed somewhat. No, Thomas also doesn't believe in the generator bullshit. He says the people who built the generator all built them all with one single flaw: their fuel. You see, the generators were never supposed to have coal as a resource. They were all meant to have their own power supply that will be made by the generator itself indefinitely, so that we could grow a city around it without ever actually needing to fuel it. As all of you know, you saw the plaque, you know the stories. Things don't work like that. We've lost a lot of people to those damn mines just because of that damn piece of metal. I wouldn't say that around the keepers, though. They're more likely to beat you to death on the spot. But what are they gonna do to me? He laughs, very exaggerated laugh. But yes, the generator is dying for one reason or another. I'll explain that all to you at some point later on, whenever you actually do this for me. You will all be sent to the same location. You will all get a suit, armor, and one vehicle for all of you to ride in. You will be going to Tesla City.
Back home.
Now, I'm sure you know Tesla City is currently in a bit of an awkward situation.
Quick though, the second he said back home, Jobadia would have blurted out, "I wish you weren't so fucking awkward, bud."
Yeah.
That was very rude of you.
The captain at this point has placed a bottle for each of you on the table. The bottle is... How should I put this? This bottle does not look like any other bottle that any of you have ever seen before. It looks like it's made from shifting and moving metal. If that makes any sense. And he tells all of you, before you leave, I request that you drink from this for your own protection, for one reason or another.
Insight.
Scotchmo immediately snatches up and starts chugging.
Insight.
I mean, it's someone inside him too. Jesus. Can we inside him?
Yeah, can we insight?
Yeah, yes, you can.
Okay.
21 total.
That's a 1.
Okay, yeah. So Jobadia believes that this bottle will pretty much make him a god if he drinks it.
I'll become as jacked as him.
Arron, wait, you said you got 21?
Yeah, 21.
You would actually know where this bottle is from, but you don't know what it does. It's from Tesla City. You don't know what it does, but he's being completely honest. He's giving you this bottle for your protection. Yeah, he pretty much slides you all a bottle, tells you to drink it, and he says, "Now, I don't like using methods like this, but I can't let you leave unless you drink this."
I down it.
Can you tell me what it does?
Oh, you'll
I know
find
it's from
out.
Tesla.
You'll find out the second that you drink it. So drink it.
I look at it strangely, look at the captain, then drink it.
All of you have drunken it?
Yes. Arron will wait until everybody else has drink it and then drink it.
I say to Arron, "Come on, Snobstone, you got to drink it too."
Snobstone, huh? That's really
Yes.
original coming from you.
After each of you drink it, the room
Wait, did I make a
begins
history? Yeah.
the wait make a history check.
I made a history check.
Yeah, that was for the
Okay.
thing.
Yeah.
About the history of the.
The second you drink the bottle, the room begins to spin. Everything begins to morph and change, and all of you wake up in a strange, misty, covered area.
Drugged.
You look around, there are actually trees, actual trees from the old world all around you. You're in a strange sort of environment that you've never seen before. It looks like you're in a park in the middle of an old world city.
Do I know what trees are?
Wow.
You there are trees in the gardens, but you've never seen them.
Do I know what trees are?
Oh, well, I'm 22. It's been 70 years. I'm 22. Trees are obviously destroyed by now, so.
Trees are brought in from the ice rocks surrounding the. You would know what they are. They're pretty much brought in for you to burn in your kiln to change to charcoal.
Okay, because I didn't know if I actually knew where the wood came from, or if it was just like I just thought it grew from the ground like it.
Yeah, you've been decently educated.
Okay. ahead.
All around you, you just hear whispering, chanting, and if you look up in the sky, it looks as though the sky is on fire. Like actually burning, if that makes any sense. You can see stars exploding, you can see like planets crashing into each other, and a bright bolt of lightning comes down, slams directly in front of you, and out walks the captain. However, he looks very different. He looks extremely old, wet, like he's 130 years old. He's not jacked anymore. He's very thin and frail. Yeah, and he walks out and he has a cane and he walks over to you people and he
What the
says,
hell did you
"So,
do to us?"
well, this is the best place to talk where nobody else can hear it.
And where is here?
Inside of your minds. The bottle was just something to pacify you in a sense. Don't worry, you'll be completely unharmed. I have no intention of harming any of you. You're all dearly important to me, deeply. And I need all of you."
That is a very weird thing to say.
But the way you just said that, yeah, that was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where we learned
Yeah.
Scotchmo was like super intelligent.
He says, in times like these, I can't even trust my own men to trust my words the words that I say. They all know about the generator, but they don't know about this. Do you know where the storm came from? The storm that almost wiped out the city about 30 years ago.
The sky.
He gives Jobadia a pretty good chuckle. He goes, "You could say that. You see, the world isn't actually like this, or well, it wasn't supposed to be. All of this was a big game among people. When the oceans began to freeze and the ice age happened, there was a plan among all of the cities, even ones that you haven't heard about, to fix this, but it backfired horrifically. I only knew about it in the final days, and I could do nothing to stop it. That's
Well,
why I had to push the city to its limits, so that we could barely survive.
Why are you talking as if you were there when it happened?
Because I was there, very plain and simply. I've been here since the very founding of the city, and I will continue to be here long after all of you are gone.
Are you? I know what AIs are, right?
Yes.
So Aaron kind of looks at him. Are you an AI?
No. 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 I'm about as human as you and your friends are.
Then how are you still alive?
Well, secrets gifted to me by the people of the old times have granted me the power to live longer than most men are able to. The body that you see on this, the body that you saw when you entered my office was not. It's just a construct, really. I control it.
I knew it.
Rest assured, it's still me. I'm still in the body, but
Do we still get the
my
cold chill down our spines when he's looking at us?
no, actually, you feel very. You don't. No, you actually feel very comfortable around him. He's speaking very plainly, and he doesn't give off any kind of bad sense whatsoever. He goes, "I'm sorry I had to drag you all out here. I'm sure you would have been more than happy to go about your lives, doing your own thing. But in times like these, I need everyone that I can get to help me. You see, the thing that caused the storm was the generators. It was not ours, thankfully, I should say, but the ones far to the north and the south, everywhere all over the globe. There was some sort of massive experiment that went on to try and reverse this. But instead of reversing it, it made everything worse. And it's going to happen again. But this time the storm won't stop. It'll rage on for years and years until eventually we're all buried in snow.
Well, at least then
She'll
we'd
ha-
be insulated.
That's a good one. Well,
How can we trust that you're telling us the truth?
Inside check.
insight.
Well, I actually say that to him.
18.
Yeah, Jobadia. Yeah, he's being dead honest. He looks at you and goes, "What would be the point of dragging you all here just to fuck with you? Tell me that."
Well, some people do have pleasure in doing that.
I don't really feel much of anything anymore. I'll tell you that much, except for concern for my city. This
An
is
insight
my
check.
city, after all. I hear everything. I see everything. I know what almost anyone is doing at any point in time. Every riot, every murder, every beating, every little bit of food that's stolen, I see it all.
You got a 9 for an insight check.
So fucking weird.
Don't make the joke. Don't make the joke. Don't make the joke. Don't make the
Do
joke.
it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
Nah.
Yeah, he's being completely honest with you guys at this point. He says the reason why I even brought you all to this place to begin with is so not even my men, my personal guard, could hear this. Because if any of them found out, there will be rumors. Those bastards can't keep their mouths shut no matter what I tell them, no matter how much I pay them. It doesn't matter. Here, nobody can hear us. Nobody can even comprehend where we are. You're wondering, where is here exactly?
Then
Like I
let me
said,
ask you a question, and if you tell me the truth, I will never question your what's the word I'm looking for?
Omnipotent?
Authority.
Trustworthy. I will never question your
Trustworthiness.
trustworthiness.
by all means.
Why is there a cross in your office?
He pauses for a second and looks down at his hand, the one that is holding the cane, and his hand begins to shake a little bit. and he steadies it and goes, "The cult is a lie. I'm sure all of you know that. All of it's a lie.
Oh, absolutely.
It was
I
made.
know.
It was made to. It was made to pacify the people, to keep them under control. It's hard to keep 30,000 people under control in times like these. So we needed a way to make them simple, to get them to work, to get them. They don't. If I told anyone about the end times that are approaching, riots would break out. Any of this, everything we've built would fall apart. I myself was a Christian before the days of the great cold, the great freezing, many names for it.
Great deluge.
I was a Christian, and I still very much am. I don't like that we had to fool everyone in the city into worshiping some piece of technology that was made by human hands long ago. But I saw no other choice.
Look into the captain and tell him, I trust you.
Can I ask what benefits are gotten from making people worship a machine?
Like I said, control. Control. What's the terms? To make them submissive.
Subjugate.
Control through religion.
Essentially, when you lead a city in pre-freezing times, civilization was marching ever onward towards the skies. Scotchmo did a perception check.
Huh?
Scotchmo did a Scotchmo did it. Got a
I
nat
didn't do
22.
I didn't do a perception check.
What did you do?
It just said that you did one.
I
Oh,
didn't do a perception check.
I do have a question though. Is Scotchmo hammered in his consciousness? If we're in our brains, is he hammered?
Yeah,
in
he is still fucked up. Yeah, in pre-freezing time civilization, our main goal was to advance towards the stars and leave this planet. But of course, due to the situation that we're in now, there was a setback. Originally, when the city was founded, people were more than fine with just surviving. But after they had food in their bellies, they had women to lay with them at night, and they had warmth,
Keep
they
going.
began
I'll
to.
be right back.
I'll wait till he gets back. Yeah, but after people got their creature comforts, they began to look for more. There were riots. What were we going to do with what we had now that we were more than just merely surviving? Unfortunately, we don't have the technology to go to space yet. The storm circling in the atmosphere would send down any ship that we could even attempt to send up. Tesla City might have something, but I've not been there in years. So we formed the Cult Mechanicus to keep the people in line and to give them something to believe in. Now you're probably wondering, is the Great Thaw actually real? Sort of. To a degree, we think that the shifting patterns in the atmosphere based on our weather stations have determined that before we found out about the storms that were going to be caused again, that eventually the world would start to settle to a degree. Not nearly as habitable as the world used to be, but it would be better than this icy hellscape that we live in now. You all will travel to very key locations. Bring me what I need so that we can fix the generator to where we won't need to provide fuel for it. After that, you can go and hopefully, with the help of other teams, stop all of this from happening again. Because I don't want all of this, all of the pain that I've seen throughout the years to be for nothing. The city must survive at any cost. And then he slams his cane back down, and the world begins to unfocus, get shifty, hazy, and you all snap back, and you're all sitting back in his office. He's sitting there, writing down on papers again. The bottles are still in your hands, but it seems like you've been there for some time as it's gotten dark out. Because oh, sorry, fuck, I forgot to mention. There's a big window carved through the side of a fucking mountain in his main office. It's gone dark out, and yeah, he's sitting there writing on paper, not saying a word to any of you.
Good man. If you wanted to enter me, all you had to do was ask.
He just looks up at you, and then looks back down.
We're in Tessa City. We're going. Anywhere specific, or we just need to head there and look for something. What the fuck are we looking for?
There will be instructions on what you can find in the vehicle.
Okay. I get up and leave. Actually, well, I wouldn't even. I was still standing. I just leave.
May I ask something?
When Jobadia goes to leave, the door's locked, and he looks at Arron, goes, perhaps.
When we make it to the city, are we able to keep things that we find that aren't required for the mission?
If you find anything of interest that has not been picked over, I implore you to take it. However, there's been an ongoing war between my troops and a strange group of people that moved into Tesla City a few days ago. They don't seem to die, no matter how much we hurt them.
Defiling my fucking city.
But I trust all of you with this mission, and know that when you make it back, because I'm sure that you will eventually, you will be paid extremely handsomely, and you will never have to worry about the cold ever again. You may leave. But before he stands up, you guys see he's actually about average height. He's about maybe 6 feet tall. He's still
average height. 6 feet tall.
Yeah, about average. He walks over to each of you and gives you each a small little medal and pins it against your chest. This will stop anyone in the city from touching you or harming you by my orders. And know that if you say anything about what you have learned today, you will suffer a fate worse than anything that you've seen in the city so far. And he snaps his fingers. The mechanical-looking guards open the door, walk in, and sync. And they say, "You are requested to leave." And the captain sits back down in his chair and begins doing more paperwork.
As I walk out the door, I turn around and ask him, like, what happens if I want someone to touch me?
By all means.
I push him forward. Arron just
Can I elbow check him in the gut as we leave? Like, Jesus.
Shut up!
The captain says, by all means. By all means. And then the door slams shut. Yeah, you can elbow him if you want.
I'm laughing.
You gotta roll an arm, though.
Oh, I gotta roll an arm?
Yep.
Okay, let's see here. 21.
Roll damage.
Just 2. I just do 2 damage.
Okay. Thomas, take 2 damage.
I didn't want to hurt him that bad, but
Hey, I need to disappear for a few minutes. Just have Scotchmo follow along.
Okay.
Scotchmo's hammered and still following.
Yeah. So yeah, the mechanical guards assume position and stand at attention. They don't say anything or do anything. Sculptor walks up to you guys. Go, well, how'd your talk go? Learn anything interesting?
We got a medal.
Oh. Gave you that little 10-piece, didn't he? Well,
Chest candy.
At least none of those damned acolytes will bother you. And if they do, come tell me. I'll make sure they're personally torn apart by beasts. He chuckles a little bit. Now, follow me. Or would any I need a quick word with the captain. He tries to walk up to the door. Both the guards cross their guns in front of him in an X, and they say no one is allowed to see the captain. And he goes, "But it's me, you dumb fucks. It's me. Do you know who I am exactly?" And they just repeat, no one's allowed to see the captain. And he reaches for his pistol a little bit, and then he lets go. He goes, crazy, fucking robots. I swear to God, Tesla City never did anything right. And he
What was that, sir?
Do you say that?
Yeah. What was that about Tesla?
I am making space away from him.
He looks and says, "They never did
as well.
They never did anything right." And he places his hand on his pistol. Do you have anything to say about that?
Aaron's just gonna walk away. Oh, I'm
He-
gonna get you. I'm gonna get you.
He laughs and goes, "Hey, listen. He says, come back, listen.
Aaron's gonna slowly come back. What?
I just don't like these fucking robots.
I don't
Okay?
either.
Yeah. Used to, we could go and see the captain whenever, but now he has these dicks propped up and no one's allowed in to see him. I've never even been to Tesla City. But fuck these robots. Now, if you'd be so kind, get the fuck out of this place." And,
Okay.
he points at the door. And you can see all of the captain's guard are gone. Nobody is in the place at all. The fire is still burning. There's still empty bottles, the stuff laying around. The women are still there, but all the guards are gone.
Is there still alcohol?
Dude, there's more alcohol than you've ever seen in your entire life.
All right, I ask the guys, like, can I have some alcohol now on the road?
I don't see
For the
anyone to
road.
stop you.
I grab 2 bottles.
This is
Scotchmo is
old.
probably going to shovel all the bottles in his. I'm just gonna say that for
I also
Assassin.
take 2 bottles.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say that for Assassin. Scotchmo's probably shoveling all the bottles of liquor, either down his throat or into his pants.
This is not ordinary alcohol that's made in the city. This is pre-freeze alcohol, like Jack Daniels, Jim Beam, tequila, like actual impossible to find alcohol.
Oh, the good shit.
Yeah.
Jobadia is not taking anything out of here.
I'm gonna say that Scotchmo gets like 20 bottles of this shit. One of the women looks over at Jobadia and goes, "Hey, that's a really nice hat that you have on. Can I wear it?"
I reach into my bag and I pull out a second one. I was like, "Here, you can have this one." I'll make these for fun.
She pretty much screams in delight, and then puts it on, and her and the rest of the girls start cackling. And she says, "Here, I don't have any fucking use for these things," and she tosses you a gold bar.
Oh shit.
I just stick it in the pocket next to the core. And then I just fucking leave. I'm like, okay, I'm done here. I don't want to be here anymore.
Yep. So,
Be like, I got my alcohol, I'm leaving.
yeah, you guys are you walk out.
Well,
I'm gonna assume. What?
Yeah.
Okay, so you walk out. The blizzard's lifted. It's pretty calm out now. It's nighttime. There's the night sky's actually decently clear. There's a good few stars out. Most of the time, the stars can't be seen because of all the smog and smoke in the city from the factories and the generator. But if all of you will listen, you can hear hundreds, if not thousands, of voices singing way off in the distance towards the city.
Did we get our shit back when we left?
Yes, you got all your weapons
Is my
back.
rifle exactly the way it looked, down to like all the fucking dirt and scraps on it?
There's one line of dust that's been removed, as if somebody rubbed their finger down it just to see how dirty it was.
Everything except for his fucking rifle has been cleaned to perfection, except there is a note on the back of your rifle on the buttstock.
Oh shit! What does it say?
Nice gun from Scarface.
That's like saying nice cock.
He drew a little smiley face. Do you guys want to head to the city then, and hear what the chanting's about?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, sure.
So, you guys make your way to the city. You pass through the wall of militia. At first, they stop you because they weren't there before, but you go to a checkpoint, and they go, "Hey, what the fuck? Why are you outside the city at night?" And then they see your medals, and they freeze, and their eyes go wide, and they just look at you and go,
Move.
you can, yeah, and then they all scurry away.
Do I recognize any of the militia guards?
Perception.
Like were they part of the people that brought us in?
Perception.
Are they one of the ones
19.
that Noble wants to beat up?
What'd you get?
19.
None of them look familiar, but you do. Sorry, they're definitely the guards that you saw earlier in that massive formation, but none of them look like the ones that touched you. Yeah, at the checkpoint, there's just guys outside standing at guard, and then there's a few inside a little scrap building just playing cards and drinking. I guess they're on break. And then past the gate, there is mostly just a few. Nobody. You don't see anyone walking the streets, as a matter of fact. You guys would know, everyone except for Jobadia, that whenever the streets are empty like this at night, like there's no lights, all the buildings are unlit, that usually means there's some kind of spiritual procession going on. But you hear chanting from very, very far away in the city. You're on like the the edge of the city, but you can't tell where it's coming from. And you are free to go wherever you would like in the city.
I'm gonna go get my shit.
Okay, so you're gonna make your way back to the market area.
Yeah.
Okay. Where would the rest of you like to go?
Get some bullets. So I guess market area.
Okay.
I'll go with them as well.
Because I don't know how many bullets you're gonna allow me to start out with. I gave myself 10, but I don't know.
I'll give you 15.
Okay. Gonna need more.
I'm having to lead Scotchmo because his arms are filled with whiskey bottles.
Yeah.
I have returned momentarily to check on things.
Welcome back.
Is there anything I need to do?
You have 20 bottles of liquor now.
Okay.
Do you want? How much did you hear of the conversation with the captain in the weird place?
I heard up until we left. And that,
You left?
whenever I.
What do you mean left?
When I made that, was it when I made that joke about wanting to be touched?
Yes, that was around where I left. It was
Oh.
right after that.
Okay, yeah, not really. Essentially, you all got a fuck ton of original old world liquor, like not made in the city liquor.
Oh.
And Jobadia got a gold bar, and you guys are free to wander around the city. And then at a certain time, I will instruct all of you to go to your assassin. You're gonna love this. It's your vehicle's called the Kodiak.
Ah, yes.
Yes.
Okay, well,
We're gonna be able to upgrade the Kodiak throughout our
I'll be
adventures.
Yes.
I'll be back
Yes.
very, very shortly.
Okay.
Like I said, I just came to check on if there's anything I needed to do.
Okay. We'll
Give me a
no, you're
shotgun
good.
and ammo. That I'll be fine.
Cool. I guess we'll start with Arron. You said you wanted to go where?
I'd try and get some bullets.
Okay. So you live right in a building in between the Sacred District and the Upper Tier District. It's a pretty nice place, nice big apartment. You walk in, you see a lot of faith keepers around, like a lot. They have candles, and they're just walking around chanting to themselves over and over again. But you can't quite tell what they're saying, and none of them bother you. None of them say anything. Uh, as you're getting to your apartment, you're walking towards the main door. You hear a gunshot go off, and all of the faith keepers turn in unison, drop their candles, and sprint towards the gunshot.
I will also head towards that gunshot.
As you approach, you hear dozens of gunshots go off, as well as seeing a few dead faith keepers on the ground.
Oh my!
And there's a few people holed up in a building, barricaded themselves in, and they're pretty much screaming, "Fuck your false god! Fuck your generator, you robe freaks! Get away from us!" And he goes and he shoots at another one, but he misses that time.
I have a dilemma. Should I get involved?
Should I stay or should I go now?
Hey, wait, who's Scotchmo following? Is he following?
Thomas.
Well, we were going. I guess we're going to the same area, right?
No, I went to my
I will-
stall. Is he following me? Is he following you guys?
I think he was following Thomas, but Thomas, where'd you say you were going?
I was going to the marketplace as well. I was following Jebediah.
Oh,
Okay. So it's just you.
Okay. We split the party.
You guys will regroup. I wanted to give everyone freedom for a change because I know I kind of railroaded the fuck out of you guys there.
That's okay. Do the faith keepers look like they're having a hard ass time?
They don't really look like they're trying that much. After a few of them died, most of them just took cover
Okay.
and are still just oddly chanting.
Can I call to one of them?
If you would like.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, hey, keepers.
You yell this, or are you trying to get to just one of them?
I'm gonna kind of whisper, hey.
One of them here. Actually, here, let me just roll perception. With my dice. That's a 15. That's a 2. That's
Going on?
15. I'm doing Arron's scene. There's like a shootout going on between him and between these weird guys and the faith keepers.
I'm about to try and sell my services to the faith keepers for some kind of something.
Yeah, essentially, the one faith keeper walks over to you. He's actually one of the big ones, wearing the dark blue robes. And he actually walks towards you with his stick in his hand and goes, "What are you doing out at this time of night?"
I point to the metal.
The captain's chosen.
Listen, I'm willing to help you with this situation, but I need a quick certainty. I'll help you resolve the situation. In return, I need some bullets. And possibly some money. We're going on a long expedition.
You may take the bullets off of their corpses.
May I take anything else off of their corpse?
We are forbidden from touching them. after they are
Understood.
dead.
Understood. Out of game, meta knowledge. I'm totally getting some guns for you guys if this goes well.
If this goes well, bang, natural one, your gex fades. You die. No one's there to help.
It was a pleasure. A new character, Arron number 2. So I'm actually going to take up a position, and my rifle has a range of 240 feet at long range.
Okay.
So
I don't know how to set up the grid thing, so we're I'll just tell you how far away they are and if they hit. How about that?
okay. You just also let me know which ones I can see, and if I have, and I'm trying to put cover between myself, and them, because I want to kind of basically make it like a sneak attack, but not a sneak attack. Like that first shot, it's gonna have them go like, "What the fuck?" You know?
Yeah.
Like a surprise round, basically, before combat actually begins.
So. Right. Okay. You are currently in an alley on the other side on the other side of the street, facing the building. There is a faithkeeper. They don't have name tags. They are nameless. Actually, they desert their names after they become faithkeepers. There's the big one in front of you. He's friendly. There are 3 more crouched behind cover, chanting and not really doing much of anything, it seems. You're not quite sure why they're just sitting there doing nothing. And then you have about 4 guys in the building just firing off whenever they see anyone move. You can see 2 of them as they are currently out in the open right now. They're about 25 feet away.
Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to try to just fire at them. Then basically, I'm gonna like turn the corner, aim, and then take my shot.
Okay.
I'm just gonna aim at the I'm aiming at the first one. I'm gonna be using my sharpshooter ability, which will give a penalty to my attack, but it gives me plus 10 damage.
Cool.
Well,
That's 5.
That's a 5, but I have plus 8.
It's
Chance
13.
to hit. 13. You hit.
Perfect.
Roll your damage.
That's.
I think we said it was what, 2d8 or something.
Yeah, 2d8.
Plus the whatever sharpshooter.
So I'll be adding plus 16 damage.
I'll put you like this: they're gonna fucking die.
Is this in the plus 16? Just gonna how bad they die.
So 7 here. 7,
It's
8,
10.
9,
It's
10, 26 damage.
You shoot one in the neck, and it rips his head off of his shoulders.
Can I maybe like duck behind the alley again? Like whoop?
Yes, you can do that. You hear one of the other people go, "Fuck, Jared, no!" And he fires and hits one of the Faithkeepers in the shoulder and knocks him down. But strangely, the Faithkeeper doesn't seem like he's really phased by it. Just the force knocked him down. He's still chanting like nothing happened.
Okay. And then if we're in initiative, or if not in initiative, I'll go ahead and shoot again.
No, you got that shot off early because they didn't see you. You can roll initiative now. There are 3 of them left. The Faithkeepers aren't really going to do much, it seems.
I got a 7.
Okay, I will roll for them with my die. Give me a quick.
What's that?
4. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 total.
Okay, well, one of them got a 1, so you beat him. That's a 14, and that is an 8.
Cool. So I got a 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I got an 11.
So you go second, I believe.
Perfect.
One of them is going to take aim at one of the Faithkeepers.
Oh no.
He's going to fire. I rolled a nat 1. His gun jams.
No.
His gun jam.
His gun
It's
jams.
gonna explode in his hands. Oh no!
Yeah, his gun jams. Now it's your turn. You can see 2 of them. The other one is
I'm gonna shoot.
reloading his gun.
I'm gonna wait. Which one? Sorry.
2 of them you can see in the upper level of the building that they've barricaded. One of them is reloading.
I'm gonna shoot the other one who's not reloading. 7 plus 8. Come on. Let me do some math.
15.
15.
You hit these guys only have 12 health.
What's
Okay,
their
well-
AC though?
Their
Yeah.
AC is 14.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
So
so
yes,
I
it-
just hit.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
whatever.
a 5. I don't know if you guys can
Mhm.
see.
The other one is 6.
That's a 6. Yep.
So,
So 6, 7, 8,
11.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I did not use my sharpshooter ability, so 17.
Okay. Yeah, you shoot him. Bullet pretty much goes right through him, and he staggers a little bit before he falls to the ground. At this point, after you shoot him, it's one of the other one's turns. The one whose gun jammed. Right, not him, the other one. Okay, yeah. So the other one actually pulls out, and this isn't actually doing
gat.
anything for this. This isn't actually going to do any damage, but it is this for the story. He actually pulls out a Molotov cocktail and throws it out onto the street, and it sets 2 of the Faith Keepers on fire. Now, you see them get set on fire, and they stand up, cross their arms together, and stand there while they're burning, not moving an inch.
Okay.
I said we're not there for that.
Fucking
No one is gonna believe him.
religious fucking fanatics.
Wait, what happened?
I think I you know what I actually am gonna do? Using my level 1 artificer, because I am still an artificer. I'm going to the magical tinkering thing I was telling you about earlier. I'm going to record. I'm gonna like make a picture of it, a static visual effect. So,
Alright.
like, 3 of them burning. Later on. Not now.
As far as you know, Faith Keepers don't really do shit like this. They're still people.
Right. I'm a little freaked out.
It is the one that it's the one that rolled a 1. He's going to reload his weapon, and that will be his turn. Is reloading. These are like level 1 guys, so they're not really they can't hit.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I could be mean and make him do a bonus action and then shoot, but
Hey,
yeah.
you're the DM. You make the rules, because if they're using like pistols, they technically can bonus action shoot.
Yeah. But yeah, fuck it. Yeah, bonus action. He'll fire. He's actually gonna aim at you this time.
Oh, motherfucker. There's actually this rule that I didn't tell you about.
What is your AC?
Did you say you were
It is
changing stuff
15.
today?
Okay. Huh?
I was trying to remember if AB said he was using. I think
I
AB said he
am
was using
behind
cover.
cover. Yeah, I'm using a wall, but I'm still kind of partially out. So
Yes,
I have
that's right.
I believe that means I have a +2 to my AC. So that'll actually make me at 17, well behind this wall.
Okay.
So probably gonna get shot and be like, guys.
Nat 20. You get hit eyes.
Tottery,
What?
you're psychic.
Oh, fuck.
He got a nat 20. I'm
No, he
sorry.
didn't.
Yes, he did.
No, the fuck he didn't, sir.
Fighting with the DM.
God damn it.
You took that lucky feet now, didn't you?
Now you're lucky.
I call my 1 free mulligan. No, what's up?
What's your health?
11.
Less
Okay.
now.
Now you are in luck. He only has a flintlock pistol. That only does a 1d6 of damage, I think.
Yes, but since it's a crit, it's doubled.
Well, just rolled over and hope it's like.
Yeah, if it's 10 or below.
Yeah. That's a 1.
Yes.
And that's a 4. Okay. Got 5 damage. He shoots you. It hits you pretty hard in the shoulder, but it...
Son of a bitch!
Yeah. At this point, you see the big Faithkeeper. He's a barbarian. He becomes enraged. Goes through. Basically sprints across the street and kicks open the door of the building and then runs inside. And it is your turn now.
Oh, fuck that. I'm going to.
He only had 30 movement speed anyway, so he's like right inside the building.
I'm just gonna roll to hit again. That's another 5, but last time it hit, so that one will hit. Unless they have a different AC.
No, they're all 14.
Wait, that wouldn't hit though. You didn't roll 5 last time?
Yeah, no, I rolled the 5 the very first shot it took.
That's because I don't remember that. I don't remember. Did you?
My sharpshooter takes negatives.
Okay, I don't
That's
remember.
7, 6, plus, so 9, 10, 11, 12.
Does that be 13?
14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 19 total damage. I gotta add plus 6 because you can add your ability damage towards the actual damage you do with your weapon.
Okay. And wait, was that your damage or your roll to hit?
That was my damage, 16.
Okay. Yeah, you shoot him. Same thing as before. You actually know you pretty much hit him
It's
in the
3
top part of his
bullets.
dome, and you pretty much scalp him with your fucking bullet. It is now the last guy's turn.
That is 6 bullets.
He's going to roll to shoot the barbarian keeper.
He rolls 15.
And that's a 12. And the Faithkeeper has an AC of 16, so it does not hit. It is now the Faithkeeper's turn.
Alright, 12 bullets left.
Okay, and just so I can speed this up and get to somebody else, because this has gone on for a minute.
Yeah.
You see the Faithkeeper burst through the door that they're hiding in, picks him up, and throws him through the window.
Hot damn.
And he crashes through, lands on the cold cobblestone, pretty much breaks his arm, and is sitting there writhing in pain. And the Faithkeeper comes back out and
crushes his head.
No, he instead takes his baton and smashes him on the back of the head with it and knocks him out. And he points at you and says, "If you wish to see what happens to him, come to the public square tomorrow."
I don't think we'll be here tomorrow. So in response to that, we can skip it. I'm just gonna loot them. You can tell me what I get later, so I can give it to the party.
Okay. I mean, I'll just tell you now. You'll get 3 guns. One of them actually broke, and you'll get about 20 bullets.
Did we give the broke gun to the drunk guy?
Rifles.
If now, before I switch to the other guys, I want you to give me a perception check on the guy who got knocked out.
Perception on the guy knocked out. That's the nat 1.
That sure is knocked out, dude. Okay, so cut to that. You can go to your apartment, do whatever. You can do what you want. We'll continue with that later. We now cut to Jobadia. What is Jobadia doing?
I'm going to go get all my shit that I left in the market. This was some other thing that I left in the market.
So, you see, you walk back up to the market. Oh, there. Oh, okay. You go back to the market. Most people are asleep, or in bed, or are at work right now, and it's pretty much deserted. But you still hear the rhythmic chanting very far off, and if you would like to know where it's coming from, AV, you can also do this if you would like. You can both roll me investigation to see where it's coming from.
Investigation. Ooh, I have proficiency in that. It's a +2 instead of a +1. That's a 5 total.
It's coming from the north.
Investigation?
Damn it.
Yes. It's
12.
coming. 12. It's actually pretty close to where you are, AV. The chanting is coming from pretty close to where you are. It is coming from the direction of the Grand Cathedral. Did I explain what that is? I don't think I did.
I don't think so, but it's pretty self-explanatory. With the
It is essentially a 10-mile wide church that the faith keepers operate or do their sermons from. It is able to fit roughly about 10,000 people inside of it at one time.
Good lord. Big.
Scotchmo just knows, not Scotchmo, Jobadia knows it's pretty much coming from that direction. He doesn't know what the fuck's going on there, though. You can tell that it's pretty much, there's probably some kind of procession going on, but it sounds different than a normal procession. Back to Jobadia.
Jobadia, I hate this place. And I hate it even more at night.
The streets are pretty decently well lit. The heat from the generators being still pumped throughout the city, so it's still pretty warm. How the heat works, there are these massive towers that basically provide. It's not fire. It's basically like a gigantic space heater that stretches out over miles and miles and miles. They're all over the city. They're basically the further out you go, the less of them there are. You're in the market, so there's one about every 10 miles, I think. So yeah, it's pretty warm. There's still snow falling, but it doesn't stick to the streets very long. Yeah, you get to your market, and there is a man passed out drunk, curled up on a blanket you were sitting on.
It's me.
God damn it!
It's me. You're behind me, though.
It's just.
it's a
That's
me.
the second
Mario.
Scotchmo.
It's Scotch.
It's his twin.
It's Scotchmo.
It's Scotchmo. It says Scotchmo.
Since it's Jobadia, Scotchmo, and Thomas all in one area, you guys can all interact as one thing for this. Oh, and if Scotchmo and Thomas want to do an investigation while I'm doing Jobadia's thing, you're more than welcome to. But Jobadia, your move.
I'm going to pilfer through his pockets real quick before I move him.
Sleight of hand.
Do I have advantage because he's passed out drunk?
You do.
Doesn't matter.
Not a natural 20.
That's a 9 total, and that is a 5 total.
Let me see. I'll try
So, what was your highest roll?
9.
Scotchmo's gonna help you.
Investigation.
You guys don't wake him up, but you don't really find anything. You find like some random bullshit in his pockets, like just a scrap of metal, some chewing gum, a little bit of food, but you can't really take it because as soon as you touch him, he kind of just rolls over and just kind of flips around.
I check his other pockets.
Go on ahead. Who Okay, 11. You might actually get something. Who got a high investigation, like a nat 20 or something?
It wasn't a nat 20. It was an 18 plus 2.
So an unnatural 20. That
Yeah.
was for the chanting. Yeah, you actually can tell that's pretty much coming from the Grand Cathedral. It sounds very different from the ordinary nightly procession that goes on sometimes. It sounds as if they're speaking in a much lower tone.
Those damn cultists doing now.
It sounds... It's possibly thousands of voices just speaking, and you can actually see the light from the fires near the Grand Cathedral burning from over here. The fires usually mean something is being punished. Well, so yeah, what did Scotchmo roll in 11?
Mm-hmm.
You go through his pockets. You don't wake him up this time. He's still sleeping just fine, and you find a little bit of bread in his pocket.
Ooh.
Bread and wine, Scotchmo. It seems like your choice for things. All right, you lazy fuck, get off my shit. And I pick him up and I'm gonna roll him. I'm kind of just gonna like sling him over away from my stuff so I can get it to it.
Strength save or strength check.
Check. Okie dokie. Well, do I just roll the strength thing or do I roll like acrobatics or athletics?
Just strength. You're just picking him up.
That be it. 12.
Yeah,
I can help you if you want.
Yeah, if you want, roll, and that means you can roll with advantage since they're helping you.
Okay, let's see. That'd be a 12.
19.
With the combined strength of both you fucking yeet this man a good like 5 feet away. He wakes up whenever his head slaps the cobblestone. He goes, "What the fuck? My head's still hurting from that fucking music they were playing. Where the fuck am I? Who are you? Oh god, I need to go. I think I shit myself." And he gets up and he staggers away.
When he gets about 300 feet from us, I pull out my bow and just kind of aim at him and just think about shooting him. I don't blame him.
He doesn't even think about looking behind him.
I whisper in a Jobadia ear, "Do it. Think of all the things we could do."
Scotchmo starts drinking.
I don't feel like getting my arrow out of a shit-stained corpse.
Roll me Constitution, Scotchmo.
I can't pick
Save
my shit
or
up.
just regular Constitution?
Save. You're rolling a save, boy.
I can't look at what I got.
Not 20.
Not 20.
You are fit as a goddamn. You are awake and wired, but drunk as a fucking skunk, dude. You are impossibly drunk, but impossibly alive.
You see, Scotchmo follows the way of the squeezins.
Yeah,
He's unstoppable when he's pissed drunk.
Yeah, Jobadia and Thomas, you've never seen a man this drunk, but yet this animated in your entire lives. He's dancing a little bit too.
Okay. I pick up my shit. Is anything missing?
Not that you can tell. There's a small little stain on the rug.
Is it piss or is it spit or is it vomit?
Investigation.
Scotchmo, smell this.
All right.
I'm not touching. I'm just going in.
Constitution save. Constitution save.
It's a 14.
Piss. It's piss.
Does he now need to make another
smell anywhere?
Nice. Does he need to make another Constitution save?
What?
Does he need to make another Constitution save so he doesn't throw up?
No, he rolled a nat 20. Dude. He's fit as a fiddle, man.
What'd you say, Scotchmo?
I'd know that smell anywhere. I smell like that every Sunday.
Maybe I should. How far away is he now?
How far away is the dude? He's about 500. You can't see him anymore. He's already gone along a curve.
Ah, damn it. He's about 500. I can still shoot him. He's still in range. I just get you disadvantage.
Nah,
I'm like,
yeah.
I'm heavily deciding whether or not I should just leave this here. If Scotchmo, you want to... What'd you say, Devil?
up to you and ask what the pelt is for. Like, what type of animal the pelt's from.
It's probably just a polybro pit. I have like 16 of these goddamn things I'm trying to sell. That I use for stuff. It's just one I was sitting on.
So as you guys are talking and cleaning up your stuff, you hear a man scream off in an alley across the street from you guys, and you hear him just say, "Wait, I didn't do it. Stop, please. I have a family." And you just hear thuds and him just screaming in pain.
Let's go have a peek.
You guys got somebody fucking murdered.
Let's go have a peek, and I'm gonna go over and look down there. I'm gonna peek my head around the alley like fucking Tom and Jerry skits, just my eyes peeking around.
What you see in this sort of dark, barely lit alleyway, there is about 6 faith keepers and a man, and they are currently all beating the shit out of him with their clubs. Behind him, you see a cart that is currently on fire. It's been set on fire, and behind all of them, you see one of the taller keepers wearing the purple robe, which means he is a senior keeper.
I slick back around the corner and go back to what the fuck I was doing and minding my own business.
Cool.
I'm not getting involved with that shit. I'm not fighting the fucking keepers.
Question: will that pen? Could I stop them and ask what's going on if I have that pen or that medal? Yeah, badge.
What happened over there?
You wouldn't know.
Nope.
You can try.
Scotchmo, go ask
Nope.
what happened.
Nope.
Stop them and ask them what happened.
Nah, fuck that shit. I ain't messing with them. I don't think they give a shit too much about this penance.
Scotchmo drinks another bottle, full bottle, all at one go.
You'd be like, Scotchmo, I'll give you more fucking alcohol. Go find out.
I have all the alcohol. I've got all the squeezing.
Fucker's got like 20 bottles. I think he's good for like a day.
For forever.
Yes. All right.
Which is a
I
day.
go up
Yeah.
to the
Scotchmo,
keepers and ask
roll
what's
up.
going on.
roll another Constitution save. The keepers all simultaneously stop, and they stop, and they form a line separating you from the man on the ground who's currently just coughing up blood and just writhing in pain on the ground. The senior keeper walks up, goes past them, and goes in front of you and says, "What business is it of yours?"
I point at
Killed,
my badge.
man. Ah, Captain's chosen. Fucking great.
I give him a big smile.
You know, I don't think the captain can see you out here.
Oh, but I have friends in high places and low places too.
Can I hear this?
Perception.
Uh,
He cracks a smile and says, "I'm just fucking with you.
Nope.
Relax." Nope, you can't hear shit. He says, "Relax. I'm just fucking with you." This man's a
Scotchmo
thief.
is just singing.
You hear singing? Yeah. So, this man's a thief. All the stuff on that cart was stolen from the shop behind him. One of my brothers caught him in the act, and therefore he must suffer penance. And
Go ahead.
after he says that, the man on the floor says, "It's my fucking shop. These people are insane." Before one of them kicks him in the face and sends him back down.
We talk to the head faith keeper and ask, "Can we double check to see if that's actually his shop?"
He pauses and lifts up a hand and does he kind of twirls his hand a little bit, and one of the regular faith keepers separates from the group and kicks open the door, and he walks back out. I have absolutely no idea. How am I supposed to tell? if it's his house or not. There's no name. There's no name tag on it. The head faithkeeper kind of just like shoves his hand in like the hood covering it, and in his face, and you just hear him sigh. He goes, "Great, that fucking bring anyone in this goddamn place. I swear. Look, we can't believe anything he says at this point. He'll say anything to avoid penance, especially this level of penance." And he chuckles a little bit. "All heretics must be burned or frozen, depending on my choice.
But how can
And
you
this,
tell that it does not belong to him?
I see no reason why it does belong to him. Do you see a name tag?"
I look at the man. Do a perception check.
Do a perception check.
17.
What do you want to know about him?
Does he have a name tag? Does he look like he's from the city?
The Faith Keepers do not have name tags. After they are sworn into the faith, they disavow their name.
No, the guy on the ground. I thought you were... Yeah, the guy they were beating up.
He is still wearing his work uniform. So yeah, you can tell he works in one of the factories. You see coal dust on him, so you're gonna assume he works in a coal factory or a coal mine. His name is Jared. This is about the right area where a coal miner would live. It's not great, but it's not the worst place you could live. It's decent. He probably has running water.
Okay, meta here. Wait, so he was accused of stealing from a house, or what was he accused of?
Stealing from this shop. It is pretty much a sort of a private shop, if you will.
Okay. Gosh dang it! I asked the guy, if you're the owner of this shop, then why are you covered in coal dust and look like you just came from the coal mines?
I just got home. I heard these fuckers messing around in front of here. I asked them why they were out here in the middle of nowhere doing something, and then they took my cart, said I was stealing stuff, and called me a heretic. I live here, for fuck's sakes. And then one of them kicks him in the face again, and one of the red keepers just yells, "Silence, heretic!"
Ah, fuck. Jobadia, give me some help over here.
Do I hear this?
Perception. Wait, do you yell it?
Yeah.
That's 17.
Yeah, you hear him. And the head faithkeeper goes, "More? There are more of you."
About 2 more.
You hear
We also got a drug on our team.
You hear a loud fuck, and then he I come walk around the
followed
corner.
by the-
What do you want?
Followed by the loud fuck.
The loud fuck.
Just a faint. I got friends in no places in the whiskey.
I don't think that one's going to be of much help.
Point to
I come
do
walk
that,
around
like,
the corner
whole
and
reveal
wait.
thing.
What?
Go ahead.
I come walk around the corner. I go, what do you want?
Do the whole reveal thing like from those game shows.
And behind door number 1, you've got heretics.
Like, this is my team.
Me.
The Faithkeeper, the senior Faithkeeper looks at you, Jobadia, sees the badge, and he just goes, "How many fucking chosen are there around this place?"
Or that I know of.
At this moment, Scotchmo comes around the corner with his hands tucked into his armpits, flapping his arms like a chicken. Chicken, I don't want to be a chicken. I don't want to be a duck. Quack.
There's
Head
number
Faithkeeper
3.
looks at you, sees the badge, and goes, "Are you fucking? What is wrong with him? What actually is wrong?"
I have seen
All
him
faith that they
down
had in
about
this
8
man.
bottles. I don't know how he's conscious.
What'd you say, Avi?
I said, imagine them losing all faith in this man after fucking meeting all of us.
Yeah. To be fair, they kind of their hierarchy kind of goes to the I don't have a name for 'em. It's basically the quote unquote the top dog of the Faith Keepers. I don't have a name for him right now, but
Phil.
he's basically the Pope in a way. He controls what the Faith Keepers do, and he answers to the captain. The rest of these guys have never even seen the captain.
I imagine most people haven't seen the captain.
Nobody has really. Only a very select few people ever actually get to meet him. Yeah. So he crosses his arms. He goes, "What are you intending to do exactly? I don't think it's possible for you to stop a procession such as this." As he kind of uses his heel to tap the guy on his shoulder who's on the ground.
Yeah, but this guy claims the
Can-
guy on the floor here.
The cart's on
Claims-
fire, right?
A cart full of goods is currently burning outside the shop.
You set
Oh,
that
I did
shit
not
on
know.
fire.
It must be cleansed. Stolen goods are filth and cannot contaminate our bodies.
Damn, all that food and shit.
Give me a second. I want to walk over. Can I walk over to the cart without them stopping me?
The head Faith Keeper doesn't stop you, but two of the smaller ones move out in front of you. They don't touch you. They just walk out and in your way.
I walk through them.
Strength.
12.
And I'm going to roll for both of them. He got a 5 and he got an 18.
Damn.
You managed to slip through one of them, but the other one grabs you by your collar and kind of shoves you back. Doesn't say a word. And the head Faith Keeper looks at you, Jobadia, and goes, "The procession must be finished," as he reaches into his coat and pulls out a very ceremonial-looking gun. And then he aims it at the guy on the ground's head.
Oh, he's casting gun.
Anyone
Yeah,
wanna-
how do you know the goods are stolen?
Why else would he be carrying a cart full of goods in the middle of night outside of this shop?
He got stuck in traffic during the day, or he got distracted by the ceremony and then came back to it.
Yeah.
You see him pause for a minute, and he straightens his back, and he puts the gun back in his cloak, and he goes, "Do you hear that? Do you hear that?"
Hard not to. But what exactly are you referring to?
"I hear many things. Screaming,
Ah, you're a schizophrenic. Okay.
the burning."
Oh, Silver on the other. Oh my god, they are not gonna believe this, but I'm gonna.
He lifts up his head and screams something in a language that you can't understand. And then the rest
Is it
of
abyssal or
the-
ogre?
It you don't know. You don't know what it is.
Abyssal isn't a thing.
This will be a language that's included later on in the campaign that you guys can learn. It's basically a language that the Faith Keepers used to communicate with each other. There's no real importance with it. This is just a little side segment that I had written down in case you guys did something. The rest of the Faith Keepers run off, But he stays there, and he goes to pick up the man and tosses him on his shoulder.
What was his name?
Does not have
I
a name.
didn't catch it.
No,
Faith-
not the faith giver, the guy who was on the ground. That they kicked the shit out of.
Let me.
I'm gonna go look in the cart for a name tag.
I'm actually gonna have to call it, guys. It's almost 12.
That's fine.
So
We'll probably stop after
at the
this.
end, Aaron's just gonna hand him a gun. He's gonna hand the two lucid ones a gun, not the drunk one.
You could hand him the broken gun.
Yeah, I'm gonna hand him the broken gun. Be like, this gun is super special.
It only works whenever you need it to the most.
It's Chekhov's gun.
Well, that's why
Um,
Scotchmo has specializes in shotgun.
He does have a shotgun.
And a battle axe.
But yeah, that's gonna be it for me, guys. So
All right. I hope you
Alright,
liked the
good night.
movie.
I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you.
You guys have a good one. Okay,
Yeah,
You
you
too.
too.
Alright, see ya.
later. Let me know what I missed.
So, yeah, the head faith keeper pretty much throws this guy on his back and then turns to you, and he goes, "The procession must be completed at any cost."
How far away are the other faith keepers?
Such is the word of our faith, so it shall be completed. They're about 20 feet away.
Damn. I was hoping they would already be gone. I'd just chuck an arrow into him.
Yeah.
Guess not.
Um,
What was the guy's name though? Who was on the ground?
I actually don't think I wrote down a name for this scene. This is literally like a side scene that I barely had anything written down for. I'm coming up with most of this on the spot.
Oh wait,
Like,
no,
give
you
us
said his name
one
was
side.
Jared, didn't you?
Jared or Ben?
Yeah,
something.
Jared.
Jared.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look in the cart real quick and see if there's a name tag on anything. It's
It's
not
on
burned.
fire.
I know, but I'm gonna see if there's anything that's not burned and has a name tag. As hard as it'd be.
It's just Wiles on fire running around in it.
If you're gonna look, no roll. If you're gonna try and touch stuff, dexterity.
I'm just looking for something right now. I'm not gonna touch anything if I don't need to.
It is not really a whole lot. There's a couple things like burned. You can smell burning meat, so there must have been meat in there somewhere.
Hmm.
And there's a few odd things in there, such as there's a steam core for one. Common people don't have steam cores. There is a bottle of pre-freeze liquor, and a flag of the captain. And it is highly illegal to burn a captain's flag in the last city.
I am going to snag that flag and that core as quick as I can, if I can.
That's fine. Dexterity. If you fuck up, you'll just take a little bit of damage.
It's 15.
You're fine. You're fine. You're good. You managed to snag both of them. The flag is still burning a good bit, but you can just put it out by stomping.
I put it out on my pants. I don't stomp on it. And I yell after the guy and said, "You almost committed a serious fucking crime, guy." And I show the flag to him, if he's not gone already.
He turns and he sees the burning flag, and you see him drop the guy on the ground. He lands with a thud, but he's still just moaning in pain, and he walks over to you, and he in your time in the city, you've never seen a faith keeper do this. He pulls down his hood to where you can see his face. His face is entirely tattooed, like every inch of his skin on his head. He's bald. His face, his eyelids, everything on his face is like tattooed with like strange symbols. And his eyes they look almost like he has cataracts in a way, but it doesn't look natural. And he looks at the flag and goes, "We have sinned. My brothers have sinned, as have I. We shall be dealt with accordingly, but this man must be judged along with the rest of us." And he tries to grab the flag from your hand.
I let him have it. I keep the
Yeah.
core hidden from him though.
That's fine. He takes the flag, bundles it up, and then like stuffs it in his coat or in his cloak. And he goes to pick up the man, but a shot rings out, and the back of his head explodes.
Keeper or the
The
suspect?
keeper, the keeper's head. He goes to bend down, and the back of he goes bend down. You guys hear a loud gunshot behind Scotchmo, and the keeper falls over dead with a big hole in his forehead. You guys turn, you look, and you see a man basically wearing scrap armor, and he has a rifle in his hand, and he yells, "Death to the captain!" And then he runs away. And then you see several more men following him.
Which way did he fire towards me with that bullet? Like it came out like turned around from me and then the bullet went through his head.
He
And his
turned
brain did his
around
brains explode all over me? Is there a question?
a little bit, a little bit got on your shoe.
Oh, is that all?
Yeah, that's about it.
Alright. I just kind of pick it off.
You see about 5 men behind him run past. They're all wearing some this weird salvaged armor. And you can hear after they run away. You guys are doing, I guess, just
I go
well,
back to my stall and I had my pin underneath my jacket just in case.
You then see what looks like over 100 keepers sprinting in sync down the street after those men. And by now, the chanting that you heard way off in the distance has stopped, and you can hear gunfire happen from various points in the city.
Hmm.
Okay. However, right before we end this, you see a flare get shot up from what looks like closer to the generator, and a gigantic horn sounds off. And on the intercoms that are all over the city, you hear what sounds like the captain's voice saying, "All citizens must please go inside at this point in time. The cleansing must begin."
Jesus.
I put my pin back on my coat where everyone can see it.
Yep.
I
And
pick up the keeper's gun.
okay. It's just a really ornate flintlock. It does 1d8 damage, which is more. The original one does 1d6.
Where's the
This one
dude that
does
was on the
1d8.
ground arrow? Wait, he's still there?
He is barely conscious, but he is still awake, and he thanks you guys for saving him, because if not, they would have probably dragged him and thrown him in the fucking generator or worse. And he offers to have you guys stay inside of his house for the night, because if you're caught, it doesn't matter who you are. If you're caught outside during a cleansing is basically where
If you're
swarms of
outside, you
faithkeeper
die.
it's when riots happen, which is what's happening right now. Swarms of faithkeepers and militia flood the streets and basically wipe out any dissidents.
Okay. I grabbed the shit and go
Uh,
inside with him.
yeah, he offers to shelter you guys for the night.
I'll leave the
He
piss soaked one on the ground though. Just leave it outside.
he very quickly he also drags the keeper's body inside. Actually, yeah, he drags the keeper's body inside and just kind of wraps it in a towel and just stuffs it in a closet. And he says, "I'll deal with that tomorrow morning. This really is my shop. I wasn't lying either. These fuckers are crazy." Yeah.
We can tell.
Yeah.
Why
And
did you
then
have all that stuff on there?
I was trying to hide some of it. These fuckers, people, I guess, they come through and sometimes they just take things from us. I don't quite understand why most people are so brainwashed by this shit. They don't care. They're happy to give it to them. A few of us actually know what's going on to a degree, and I kept trying to hide some of my food, my valuables, that way they wouldn't just take it.
I understand.
Yeah. Wait, you guys were captains chosen? Is that what he said?
Yep.
I've never
Yes.
even met. What are you guys doing out here then? Shouldn't you be doing captain bullshit?
That's
Whatever
what we
it
were
is?
heading to do.
Oh,
We stopped at the market.
well,
Give him a shit.
you guys are welcome to sleep here. Um, they'll announce it when it's over. I'm sure you know, but yeah. I really wouldn't be out there right now. I doubt they'll come this way. I guess there's a riot going on or something, but shit's been getting crazy lately. I don't know what's happening. Um, yeah, at this point, you guys hear a lot of footsteps running around in the streets surrounding you guys, but he's currently kind of barricaded the door a little bit, and he says, I'm going to turn off the lights. Um, you guys can sleep wherever you want. I'm going upstairs to wrap up these wounds, and uh, you can leave whenever you'd like tomorrow. I don't really have time to deal with this right now.
Alright. Thank you.
I jokingly say to Jebediah, like, Jebediah, I'm scared. Won't you cuddle me?
I give him a bear hide. Just,
Cuddle this. I don't care.
This isn't the piss one, is it?
no, I left it on the street.
Oh, okay.
Well, it seemed like a good stopping point to you guys.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Okay. Well, hope you guys liked it.
Yeah.
No, I enjoyed it.